Clear skies, 80 degrees, Canton, Ohio, the scene of the top prep baseball game in the country tonight in the United States. It's Orchard Lake St. Mary's taking on Walsh Jesuit from beautiful, venerable Thurman Munson Stadium. We're live on the prep for high school baseball. My name is Chad Bush alongside Brian Sikowski, a national cross-checker with Perfect Game. What an exciting battle, Brian, we have between two perennial powerhouses in the Midwest and starting to become national powerhouses is Orchard Lake St. Mary's after their back-to-back national titles. This is a contest that a lot of folks are excited about, and I know you are too.
Absolutely. This has been circled on the calendar since Matt announced it was happening. It's a big deal. It's not only is St. Mary's putting their, nationwide winning streak on the line as they try and hunt down those records, but they're going to put it on the line against what could be argued is the best team from Ohio. And this kind of border battle across the border spring break trip that we're doing is always fun, and is always fun when St. Mary's has done these over the years. This one carries a little bit more cachet, though.
It sure does. 73 wins in a row for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They're 2 wins shy of tying the state of Michigan record. They're a little bit away from the national record. That's 89. We'll talk about that in a few weeks maybe. But as Brian said, look, this is a battle and maybe their biggest test before they would get to that record, no doubt, as this Ohio trip will continue over the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, we talked about it before the show. For those watching at home, this is akin to last year's St. Mary's Grosse Pointe North in the state final, St. Mary's Brother Rice in the Catholic League final. Any time that St. Mary's has been challenged their hardest during this streak, this is one of those games. This is how good this team from Ohio is, how good these arms that St. Mary's is going to see are, how good the lineup is. This is maybe their most formidable test of the last couple of years.
We'll get deeper into this matchup. We'll take a timeout quickly, and we'll talk to Matt Petrie, the 13th-year head coach, the National Coach of the Year a season ago, and we'll get his words and much, much more analysis coming up as we get set for Walsh Jesuit and Orchard Lake St. Mary's, a banger. And the best in the Midwest coming right after these. Welcome to Canton, Ohio and Thurman Munson Stadium, where tonight the best baseball game in the nation will take place between Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Walsh Jesuit on the road to play an exciting Midwest powerhouse. How cool is this?
Oh, it's good. Especially you having, two Catholic schools get together. Usually when we come down to Ohio, we play St. Ignatius, St. Ed's. They were busy, so reached out to Walsh Jesuit, and, with the pedigree of their program, it's, exciting to test ourselves against some of Ohio's best.
We're with Matt Petrie, Orchard Lake St. Mary's head coach, National Coach of the Year, and back-to-back national champions are the Eaglets. They're riding a 73-game win streak here tonight, and you'll have a big test against Walsh Jesuit. Let's talk about how this team has progressed so far. 7-0 to start. A new team, a lot of new faces. How are things going thus far?
So far so good. We're certainly being led by, the guys that have been there before, Jason Oliver, Blake Grimmer, Ryan McKay. And, it's been exciting to see a lot of the young guys or inexperienced guys kind of step up. Hudson Brusevich having a big hit against Catholic Central to win 1-0, and Will Boisno hitting a home run, going 3 for 3 against UAD. So it's nice to see some guys that are getting their first real opportunity step up.
Yeah, nice blend of some newcomers, and you had to replace quite a bit from last year. I don't know if that even states enough, but there's just a lot of talent to replace, a lot of high expectations. You've won 87 of your last 88 games. Does that ever sink in that things have gone so well here after at times? I mean, you had to struggle at times to get this program to this point.
Yeah, we really don't talk about, how many wins we've had and how many games. Our goal is to win the day, and, at the beginning of the year we set 4 goals, win the Catholic League, or 3 goals, win the Catholic League regular season, win the Catholic League tournament, and win the state championship. That's really all, we're concerned about, and, all these games are just a step towards those 3 goals.
You've got a power 3 in this lineup, guys that are highly touted and headed to schools. I know there's others to talk about, but you think about Blake Grimmer, you think about Ryan McKay, and, of course, you think of your other big bat in the infield. Who am I missing?
Yeah, Jason Oliver.
Oliver.
Parker Brustevich in right field as well. Those guys hitting 1 through 4 for us.
Yeah.
Do a really good job, and those guys have a lot of experience playing a lot of big games, and they've kind of led those younger, inexperienced guys.
Jason Oliver, a guy that goes two ways for you. He's a closer, and he's been a guy that's gone deep for you. How fun has it been to watch him excel and progress? It looks like he's taken his game to the next level.
Yeah, he has. And he was really good for us in the state tournament last year. He really came on strong, and was our closer last year, which we didn't need a closer too often. Might need him a little bit more on the mound. And as of right now, he's in that closer role, but he has the ability to start, and he's hitting in the 4-hole for us, playing a really good shortstop as well. So, he's kind of been, along with those top 4 guys, carrying the offense so far.
The defense is something maybe last year that didn't get enough play or run, I should say. It gets overshadowed at times with your magnificent offense. Talk about returning those guys. Those are all really infielders and keeping that unit intact.
Yeah, it's great to have our 3 infielders back, our third baseman, shortstop, second baseman. Obviously, with our pitching staff last year, there weren't as many balls in play as there's going to be this year, and that's okay because those guys do a really good job in the infield. Ryan McKay last year, I think he fielded like 995. I think he had 1 error on the year. So we're really confident in balls being in play, and that's what we've kind of preached to our pitchers is, be the best version of yourself. Don't try and be Brock Porter. Don't try and be Kieran Cahy. Pitch to contact because we have a good defense behind you.
Scoring runs maybe a little different this year. You don't have guys that can bop it out of the yard every other swing. You're going to have to score a little different this year?
Yeah, we've put a little emphasis on the running game, bunting for a hit and run, things like that. We still have some guys who can hit the ball out of the yard, but, I think last year we hit 53, 55, something like that, home runs. I don't think we'll hit quite as many this year, but, we have 6 through 7 games, so, so far so good. But, as the competition heats up, should be a little bit more difficult, and we'll have to scrap and crawl for some runs, and we're going to be in some tight games, and that's what I told the team, playing Catholic Central in a couple tight games and Liggett, Howell, is it's good for those, young guys and experienced guys to get those games kind of under their belt early, because we didn't have a lot of those games last year until, that state championship game, Catholic League championship game, things like that. So it's good for these guys to get that experience early.
Walsh Jesuit, look, they're a power, and you know that better than anybody. Double-digit guys playing college baseball, and they're kind of like St. Mary's of Ohio, and they've done some nice things already this year. What stands out to you about their program?
Just the pedigree, winning year in, year out, turning out guys playing, Division I college baseball, college baseball at all levels. I know we're going to see a very good arm on the mound tonight, and we're looking forward to that challenge, and we know they're going to play the game the right way, and that's what we like to test ourselves with.
We're with Orchard Lake St. Mary's head coach Matt Petrie in his 13th season, 4 state titles to his credit in Orchard Lake, and 2 national titles also to his credit, back-to-back national champions, 3-time state champions. Aiden Donovan gets the ball for you today. We saw him last year. He's thrown a couple times this year. What do you like about Aiden Donovan, and what can Walsh Jesuit expect from him?
He's a guy that throws in the upper 80s. He does a really good job pitching to contact. Has a very, very good changeup, a couple different breaking balls. The ball's going to be in play. He gets a lot of ground balls. He's got a lot of run on his fastball, so he'll get a lot of ground balls. Ball's going to be in play, but so far this year he's been inducing a lot of soft contact and has done a really good job, and hasn't given up a run. And he's a guy that was experienced for us last year as our primary non-league starter. I think he won 7 games, so he deserves the ball. In this big of a game, being 2-0 so far, so we're very confident in Aiden going out there for us and giving us a chance to win tonight.
Beautiful night for baseball. You're in Ohio for a nice little trip. You got several games after this. Have fun tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you down the line.
Thanks, Chad. Thanks for being here.
You bet. There he is. Yep. That's Matt Petrie, head coach, Orchard Lake St. Mary's. We're getting set for Walsh Jesuit and Orchard Lake St. Mary's from Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton, Ohio. We're back with more right after this.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Everywhere you look this time of year, people are running, and that's a great thing because running is an excellent exercise, especially for your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. But the question is, are you running a safe running program? All too often, people are hobbled by things like shin splints and patellar tendonitis. But luckily, simple things like stretching and warm-up, the right running shoes, and realistic weekly mileages can keep you in your running game. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Oh, a glorious evening for baseball. And here we are in Canton, Ohio, at beautiful Thurman Munson Stadium. Brian Sikowski, Chad Bush back with you. Walsh, Jesuit, out of Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, not too far down the road. St. Mary's from about, let's call it 3 hours and 35 minutes away from here, roughly, give or take some minutes. Brian Sikowski in the house, and the national cross-checker for Perfect Game. And, Brian, you know a little bit more about Walsh Jesuit than most folks, especially in the state of Michigan. They're under new leadership this year, and Coach Bowers, who took over for a legend. This is a program that has high expectations this year. They've got high-level players, 10 Division I commits or so. What can you tell us about Walsh Jesuit and what makes them such a good, powerful program that's done it for a long time?
It's folks in Michigan, you have to kind of look at Ohio a little bit differently than you look at Michigan when it comes to the collection of talent that the Catholic League becomes. Ohio doesn't necessarily have that all-in-one, like, Metro Detroit like we do. There's Catholic schools and private schools and any of the varieties spread out throughout the state of Ohio. They're just not all congregated like we are used to. So for Walsh Jesuit consistently to be one of the best baseball programs in the state of Ohio, this is inclusive of the bigger areas of Cincinnati and in that area, and Cleveland too, which has powerhouse private school programs. You mentioned a coaching change. Want to make sure everyone understands that was a
retirement.
Plan. It was a retirement, yet no one was fired or anything. Walsh Jesuit had a great year last year. Their legendary head coach, whose son was a senior last year, whose son is now starting at shortstop at Ohio State as a freshman, Henry Katzmer, Dad wanted to watch him play, is my understanding. So handed the reins over in a good spot as a program, like St. Mary's is. If Matt were to retire,
sure,
St. Mary's would march on, I'm sure. But the point being, man, like, powerhouse program. You might not hear about the private schools of Ohio like you hear about the Detroit Catholic League just because it's organized a little differently, but think of this as the St. Mary's of Ohio, basically.
And they've got some horses, and it starts behind home plate. What a great place to start the centerpiece of your program. Mason Eckelman, who's committed to Ohio State as their backstop. He had a big game on Saturday against Mentor. He leads them, but we're going to see Ryan Peesh tonight, the right-hander. What can you tell us about Mr. Ryan Peesh?
Yeah, it's they kind of have a two-headed monster at the top of the rotation between Peesh and Drew Erdman, who threw on the weekend. He's committed to Cincinnati. Those two are kind of their dudes at the top. They have more depth beyond that. They have a really, really interesting freshman arm, too, named Sean Sullivan, who's committed to Alabama.
Yeah, saw that.
May see him in a relief role tonight. I'm not sure, but yeah, Peach is expecting to see 88-92 with some good ride through the top of the zone, a big 12-6 curveball. He can throw a changeup as well. It's different physicality. It's different body. It's not a comp, but St. Mary's fans, people watching, you may be reminded of Kieran Cahy when you watch him pitch. There's some similarities and stuff there. But a guy who throws a lot of strikes, he's going to attack the zone. St. Mary's is going to have to, and the St. Mary's approach, we've talked about it every time I've been on a broadcast one of these last couple of years, is they'll grind you. They're not going to swing and miss outside of the strike zone. It's something they've prided themselves on for a long time, something I prided myself on when I was working with the hitters there.
Yeah.
Don't swing at balls, ever.
Right.
Take your walks. Walks are great. It's very money ball, but the point remains. So, but with a guy like Peach who's going to fill up the strike zone, we're going to have to see Mary swing early and often, and that's a game they're not necessarily accustomed to playing.
Peesh was a big part of the state semifinal appearance in 2021 as just a sophomore. And he's a big piece of their puzzle. Meanwhile, St. Mary's will counter with Aiden Donovan, the right-hander, a guy that's committed to Michigan State, a guy you know quite well. Aiden Donovan's a guy that, look, they feel comfortable with this year as their number 1 or 2, I guess you could say, as we get a look at Aiden Donovan and his profile. You've seen him, Brian. What kind of things jump out about Aiden Donovan, the junior right-handed pitcher, that's in his second year of duty for the Eaglets?
Yeah, it's a big-bodied righty, Michigan State commit, like you've said. a little bit of a different profile than we've seen from big, powerful righties at St. Mary's in the past. He's more of a sinker guy. He's more of a heavy spin guy. His changeup's his best pitch, but it's a different changeup than Brock Porter's was. Brock Porter's is a lot of power, a lot of spin, a lot of action on it. Donovan's is more of a spin killer, dead in the zone, miss the barrel, get ground balls type of pitch, and he throws a sinker with that too, a bigger breaking curveball. Lots to like about the stuff, but it's a little bit different than maybe all the bat miss you're used to seeing from a St. Mary's pitcher.
We're getting set for Walsh Jesuit and Orchard Lake St. Mary's, two of the best in the Midwest, about to bang it together in Canton, Ohio. Brian and I are ready to bring it to you next, right here on The Prep. Thanks for watching.
I woke up with stabbing pain in my feet. Plantar fasciitis, the doctor called it. All I know is it really hurt. One visit to fix my feet today and the pain was gone. And even better, the custom arch supports I got worked in all my shoes.
Don't wait. Bend your foot pain now. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
We begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy. Forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic students can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game. We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them. The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while maintaining a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
I love running and working out, but my heel pain was devastating. So I go to fix my feet today, and in about 30 minutes, I walked out pain-free and could not believe it.
Even if you think you tried everything and nothing has worked for you, call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
So welcome back to Canton, Ohio. And you never know what's going to fall out when you get to a ballpark on any given day. And we have a delay right now. And the reason for the delay is because we do not have umpires. Welcome back to Canton, Ohio. Chad Bush and Brian Sikowski with you. And Brian, I've seen a lot of things in baseball and over the years, but, you know, again, a national implications, you could say, with this game and all the things in the line. And we don't have umpires to start this game. I don't know what to say, but other to apologize to our viewers. We think we're going to get umpires, but we don't know. We don't know if this game's going to be played. So your thoughts, Brian, on what is going down as you get a look at Matt Petrie, the 13th-year head coach, and Rob Bowers, the head coach for Walsh Jesuit.
It's there's a bunch of different moving parts to this. Number one, whoever was responsible for getting umpires dropped the ball. Number two, so I think there's a set number of scrimmages Ohio high schools are allowed to play. Like, obviously, as you know, Michigan, we usually start with a scrimmage or two. I don't know if there's a set number of allowed. I think in Ohio there's a set number of games you're allowed to count as a scrimmage. So if Walsh Jesuit is at that maximum, then they would need this game to count as an official game in order to be allowed to play it. You can't play the game without certified high school baseball umpires officiating the game. We've had a couple area scouts who are here, including the gentleman who signed Brock Porter, volunteer to umpire the game if they were to be able to come away with some equipment, or if they were, to maybe call it from behind the mound, whatever. That's all well and good. There's a universe out there where we would just go forward and probably play it and call it a scrimmage. But, and I don't know this to be the fact, if Walsh Jesuit, where this has to be a sanctioned game, then we may be in a place where we're just kind of out of luck, unfortunately. Yeah. But, I don't know what happened here. Whoever's responsible for this event clearly dropped the ball or something.
I would say both teams are acting as though they're going to do something. As you see some of the activity, St. Mary's starting to get out of the dugout, and Matt Beecher saying, let's stay loose and hopeful. There are further games ahead for St. Mary's on this trip. They are scheduled to have an off day tomorrow before heading to Columbus to watch Ohio State play. Then they'll play Olatanji Orange, Grove City, and Milford. But I guess we've got a little bit of an update. Brian, what do you got for us?
Yeah, my lovely fiance is actually in the front row of the stands.
All right, give her a shout out.
Shouts out to Marissa McNeese. I appreciate her accompanying me and helping me, because while I'm up here with you, she's getting the video that will be turned into Perfect Game scouting coverage.
Sweet.
So special hat tip to my future bride.
No doubt.
But she's also down there in the middle of getting all the information. And the text I just got from her says they'll be here in 10 or 15 minutes.
All right.
Apparently. So looks like we may have baseball after all, just a little delayed.
Your bride-to-be just gave us the best news of the day.
Truly.
Only secondary information, second to the pizza arriving 5 seconds ago. So we're going to take a timeout. We're going to eat pizza, and we'll have baseball in about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're only going to eat pizza for about 2 minutes. So stick around. We'll come back on the prep. Walsh Jesuit and Orchard Lake St. Mary's. The Eaglets ranked number 4 in the national poll this week. Both teams were ranked in the top 10 in the North Central region by Baseball America to start the year. We got a dandy coming up. Don't stop believing yet. We're coming back after this. Thanks for watching.
Years of playing sports took a toll on my feet. The worst was the tear in my Achilles tendon. I went to Fix My Feet today, and I've been pain-free for 2 years. I'm back to pickleball 5 days a week. Amazing.
I've been fixing foot pain for decades. Don't give up hope. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
We begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag G-Brand USA. G-Brand USA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic students can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game. We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while maintaining a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Chad and Brian back with you from Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton, Ohio, on a beautiful night in the great state of Ohio. And so we've got baseball coming. We've got great news. You heard it. Brian broke it, that officials are on their way. So we will have umpires soon. That's great. We think the game will start in about 10 minutes. So an 8:15 unofficial time has been set. Meanwhile, we've talked about the importance of this game. This is important for many reasons, for many different ways. But for St. Mary's, they've got a record rolling. And although Matt Petrie talks down about it and sort of downplays the importance of it right now, Brian, you know it's important. And 73 straight wins now for this club, quite amazing. Second only in the state of Michigan to Homer, that had their run from 04 to 05. This is really some kind of streak, especially considering the competition. And I'm not taking anything away from Homer, but the competition Orchard Lake St. Mary's has played over these last couple seasons, winning 87 of their last 88 games. Pretty remarkable. They'll have a challenge tonight to continue this streak.
Yeah, and I think the level of competition is important. Matt seeks out the hardest schedule he possibly can, because he doesn't care if they go undefeated in the regular season. He wants to win the Catholic League, win the Catholic League championship in the playoffs, win the state championship. Those are the goals. Doesn't matter if there's a bunch of losses on the way. So for him, it's all about, when they're not playing within the Catholic League, let's play everyone else who's really good in public schools too. And that's how the pressure cooker of what a St. Mary's team looks like in June, which is a pretty formidable thing. So it's not important to him, and I can say that with certainty, because if it was, he wouldn't schedule like he does. But we're at the point now where we have to talk about it. We're a couple wins away from maybe breaking a state record, maybe 3 weeks away from potentially breaking a national record. Whether those things happen or not, kind of regardless, the streak has been awesome. Like you said, it's been a really cool thing. It's helped bring Michigan high school baseball more of a shine from a national perspective. And selfishly, I hope they keep it rolling. But it's gonna be a fight tonight. I'll tell you that much.
It is. And Walsh Jesuit, the Warriors come in 4-1 on the year. They started the year off strong with a win against Toledo Central Catholic, a team that will come into the Catholic League that Orchard Lake St. Mary's is in, the Central Division next year, ironically. They've got a win over Akron St. Vincent St. Mary, a win over Mentor, and a win over Kenston last night, 14-0. The only blemish was that loss to Jackson, 4-3 for Walsh Jesuit. As a first-year head coach, let me ask you, Joe Bowers takes over for a legend that we've already spoke on. How do you try to set the tempo, and what style of play do you get a feeling that he's going to try to do? Is it on his own? He's going to try to start a new trend that way? Or can we expect to see the same kind of baseball that we saw from Mr. Kazmar?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for continuity when it comes to something like that. And that doesn't mean that he won't put his own wrinkles on things, and he probably should. He is not the coach he's replacing, nor should he try to be. That doesn't mean he can't be as good or can't be as effective. It's just you're literally different human beings. You can act a little different. So I'm sure there's going to be some wrinkles that maybe they wouldn't have had before, but the culture, the general atmosphere, the Walsh Jesuit baseball of it all, that's all going to remain the same. That's just these programs like this. Those things aren't like hugely interrupted by coaching changes. Oftentimes there's been a plan in place, and the new guy coming in knows the expectations and knows the culture, and I think that's what we have here.
We will not see maybe the top-rated prospect in the lineup today for Walsh Jesuit. It's a pitcher, and it's Drew Erdman, who's committed to the University of Cincinnati, a guy that won the game on Saturday against Mentor, 4 2/3 innings, no hits, and a 5-0 win. What can you tell us about Erdman? We won't see him tonight, we don't think, but is he not their top-rated player, Brian?
Yeah. According to the Perfect Game rankings, he's their top-ranked arm anyways. I think Mason Eckelman may be ranked higher than him in general. But either way, two of the top players in the state of Ohio, they're loaded throughout all four classes in terms of players that you'd find in the Perfect Game rankings. And Erdman's good. I saw him several times last summer. He was playing with Team Ohio. Saw him at a bunch of different perfect game events, and it's a physical righty. He's up to 92, 93 now with the fastball. It has a lot of carry and fuzz at the top of the zone, and there's a really good breaking ball there too. So he's kind of the power arm. I think Mr. Peach maybe a little bit down throttle from that in terms of velocity, not far anyways, but probably going to sit in that 88, 90, 91 range, but really good curveball like we talked about. It's quite the 1-2 punch at top of rotation.
Peach will be opposed by a St. Mary's offense that's quite potent. Not quite exactly the lineup last year, but you look at the headliners of this roster, Brian, and Ryan McKay and Blake Grimmer and Jason Oliver, the three that pop out. Parker Brustevich not far behind him, and his bro's coming up too. It's a pretty heavy-hitting top 5 in this St. Mary's lineup. What are your thoughts on the transition from last year's monumental offensive season that the Eaglets had?
Well, I think you're probably not going to hit 100 home runs or however many they hit last year, or even 53. In 2021. you know, you're probably not going to hit quite that many bombs.
Yep.
The guys that hit a bunch of them are currently being stars in college baseball as freshmen. So, like, that's a big loss. But I think that the team is very, very talented. I think that they may be they're really athletic, 1 through 9. They're going to have to count on some younger guys, maybe, and they haven't had to do that in a couple years or select spots, whatever. There's 2 freshmen who are starting most days. They're starting today in Brustevich and Crichton.
Yep. Luke Crichton, not the Crichton we've been accustomed to calling.
Right. Another 4 years of a Crichton at St. Mary's.
How about it?
Also a good hoops player, I understand.
He sure is.
But yeah, the point being, it's a different team. It's a different offense. There's no Brock Porter at the top of the rotation. There's a bunch of guys who have the ability to be that ace. We're still looking for it. Aiden Donovan's one of those guys. Maybe he can kind of grab that mantra tonight or that mantle tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Pesci's another one. You have a really big weapon in Jason Oliver at the back end. Anytime you can go multiple innings with a dude who's just going to blow it by everyone, that's such a weapon to have. That's been a hallmark of Matt Petrie teams over the years, having that dude in the back end that can make a 5 1/3 inning start from a starter. Game's over now because this guy can go 5 outs or whatever it takes. Like, that's a staple of a Matt Petrie team. Jason Oliver is that guy. They're good. I think they're really good. It's just different. It's a little different. Not 1 through 9 is not going to leave the yard. There's no one on this team who throws 102. So just it's different. There's a good graphic there you can see on the monitor of all the guys from last year's class who moved on. Cawhe's at Kent State, Brock Porter obviously in the minor leagues, Crichton at Clemson, Dresselhaus is playing every day at MSU, Irish is playing every day and hitting in the middle of the lineup for Auburn, Schubart is a freshman All-American playing every day in the outfield at Oklahoma State, so was Irish for that matter.
Right.
But yeah, all those guys were on the team last year. That's tough to replace regardless of how good the players behind them are, and these are really good players. It's just that's a very different team last year versus this year.
No doubt. We're getting set for Walsh Jesuit at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. How about it? A Midwest monster of a battle that we thought we would have 40 minutes ago. Sometimes in life, the best things are worth waiting for. We're back to Canton, Ohio, right after this.
I woke up with stabbing pain in my feet. Plantar fasciitis, the doctor called it. All I know is it really hurt. One visit to Fix My Feet today and the pain was gone. And even better, the custom arch supports I got worked in all my shoes.
Don't wait. End your foot pain now. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
We begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. #GBrandUSA. G-Brand USA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy. Forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
And we've got great news from Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton, Ohio. We're ready for baseball. Walsh Jesuit has taken the field. Orchard Lake St. Mary's is taking themselves out of the dugout. They're ready for baseball. We're ready to introduce you to the starting lineup for the reigning national champions in this great country of ours, Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And you get a look there. Ryan McKay will lead things off, followed by Parker Brustevich. Ryan, of course, back at second base, the Michigan State commit. Parker Brustevich, the Notre Dame commit. In the number 2 hole, the junior. Blake Grimmer, the Tennessee commit, will bat third and play third base, batting .500 on the year. The Indiana commit and shortstop and closer, Jason Oliver, bats fourth with a healthy .438 average. The true freshman Hudson Brustevich will bat fifth. He's hitting .375. Vincent Cowdery will do the catching. The Grand Valley State commit hitting .353. Will Boisenow, batting .400, will be in left field. Will, with a bit of a breakout game a couple games back, hit a home run against Catholic Central. The freshman and the commit to Indiana, Luke Crichton, will bat eighth. He's in center field. And Kyle Kavik, the hockey star, is going to get some play tonight. He'll bat ninth. He's in the DH spot. And, of course, under the head coach, Matt Petrie. Petrie is in his 13th season, and he has led St. Mary's to 87 wins in their last 88 attempts.
I'd actually be curious in seeing where Matt's at in his wins now in his career. He wouldn't know if you asked him, but I think that'd be something to be curious to look at.
I was very curious. I asked Robin Goddard, and he said he'd get back to me. So I think we'll get some knowledge on that very soon. We look at the defense for Walsh Jesuit, and it will be on the mound. The guy that you need to watch for, Ryan Peesh. And behind Peesh, it's Salick at first, Gardner at second, Canzoni at short, Serdenik at third, Bremer in left, Kovas in center, and Halligan in right. And behind home plate, it is one of the best catchers in the country, a guy that we will talk about quite a bit tonight, Mr. Eckelman, committed in his journey to Ohio State.
You almost said Michigan, which would have been correct. He was committed to Michigan. when Eric Bakich was still the coach at Michigan, Eckelman was committed there. After that happened and Bakich and co. left and went to Clemson, which is why Jack Crichton is at Clemson, for example, to tie the story together. Eckelman's recruitment opened up. He quickly turned his attention to the Buckeyes, same with his older teammate Henry Katzmer, who's now starting at short. Right. So Eckelman, he's a real catcher, and by that I mean he's not a guy just that's his position in high school. He's back there, he's a hitter, blah 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 blah. This dude's a real catcher. St. Mary's is probably not seen a catcher like him back home, and they've seen some good ones. But the point being, he can shut down a running game. He's going to block everything in front of him. I wouldn't expect there to be many passed balls today, and the left-handed swing really stands out. He's been raking to start the year. There's a bunch of scouts here. There's players on both sides who are worth scouting, but Eckelman may be that top prospect right now from a draft perspective.
And he's a guy that, anytime you have a left-handed hitting catcher that can hit a little bit, and he's a left-hander, and he's a good defender, yeah. And, oh, by the way, his father's the scouting director and hitting coach for the Cleveland Guardians over the past several years.
They're head of hitting.
There's some pedigree there.
Yep.
We are set for baseball, and Ryan Minnie McKay in that leadoff spot, the left-handed stick, to start things off for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. It's been a great season for Ryan, batting .391 on the year, couple of doubles, couple of triples, and has scored 7 runs to lead this team. Final warm-up toss is being taken by tonight's starting pitcher for Walsh Jesuit, Ryan Peash, a Xavier commit, a guy that was an impressive 10-2 last year with a .78 ERA. And that was his junior year. Senior year last year, very potent. Again, he had a single game program record, 19 strikeouts in 1 postseason game. So this is a horse. And as Brian mentioned, they've got a 1A and a 1B starting pitching combination.
Yeah, this is like, you've seen any St. Mary's teams the last several years. There's a 1-2. In 2019, it was Wood and Brock, along with Anthony Fett and some other guys.
Yep.
In 2021, it was Brock and Tommy Allman by the end of the season with Keyser and Essig mixed in. And there's always that 1-2 in the rotation for really, really elite teams. They have that in Erdman and obviously here in Peach. We'll see. It looks good in warm-ups. It's good body. It's good delivery. The arm works well. It looked to be a pretty good breaking ball. We'll see. This is going to be fun.
All right, buddy. Let's do it. McKay is in the box, and Orchard Lake St. Mary's in the all-black, Walsh Jesuit in the home grays. And everybody's all pent up for baseball, albeit 50 minutes tardy.
This is already so fun.
6'3", 210 right-hander senior Ryan Peash delivers the first biscuit of the ball game, and it's up and away for ball 1. It's 4-3 baseball. We say that to our Catholic League and St. Mary's folks that are used to playing 3-ball, 2-strike baseball.
And for those of you tuning into Ohio, yeah, we do that in league play in Michigan. 3-2.
You believe it? Outside corner, strike called. Minnie didn't like it, but you might see that on the road tonight. We're happy to even have an official.
We're just happy he's here.
We're just happy he's here. Serdenik sneaking in, even with the bag at third. 1-1 count just underway on a beautiful Wednesday night in Canton.
It's a change up there. It's a good pitch for him. He's usually more known for his curveball, his big vertical pitch. But the change up to lefties is something that's in the scouting report. That was 82 right there. I'm not entirely 100% willing to trust my gun from this far up, Chad, but I am getting some readings. I'm going to try and confirm it with a few of the scouts behind the plate before I read them off. But good stuff so far.
All right. A little bit of a tailing fastball looks like there. And 2-2 the count to Ryan McKay, the leadoff man for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. 7-0 on the year, and they've won 73 consecutive games. The righty kicks and deals, got him on strikes.
Oop.
No, what? No, what?
Foul just out of the glove, I think.
Fouled out of the glove. He dropped it. Okay. So McKay stays alive in the first at bat of the ball game. Upstairs, and so this is what Ryan McKay does.
Yep.
Future Spartan has worked the count full, has some pop out of that left-handed bat, can run well, and he's a plus defender. Popped and fouled out of play, and amongst the customers here on this lovely night for baseball, for anything. 80 degrees at some points today. The sun is set and cooled a bit, but you couldn't ask for much more.
Great at bat to start. Getting into this guy's pitch count early is nothing but a benefit for St. Mary's. St. Mary's comes into this game having not played in a week, or
right.
6 days or whatever. Walsh just played on Saturday, so Mary's coming in fully rested, ready to go.
McKay close to that batter's box. Swing and a miss. So Peash with a K to start the game, but McKay did what a lot of leadoff hitters like to do, let your guys see some pitches behind you.
No doubt. He saw all three. I think this was the changeup here. Yep, just up in the zone. It wasn't a great pitch in terms of the action of it, but the location of it had McKay out in front, and he missed it. But you saw all three there. You saw the breaking ball. It wasn't his best one. You saw a couple pretty good changeups, and you saw the fastball. So he gets to walk back into that dugout and tell the rest of those guys what the pitches look like.
That's the first time Ryan McKay has struck out all year in 27 plate appearances. Here comes the right-handed hitting Parker Brustevich, the Notre Dame commit. And he's in right field tonight. This guy can also pitch, and he can also play really anywhere in the infield. We've seen him at first. We've seen him at third.
He's another guy who likes to walk, doesn't like to swing at pitches out of the zone.
Here's the 1-0, and on point he takes. In the on-deck circle is Blake Grimmer, the left-handed hitting third baseman who's committed to the University of Tennessee. The future Xavier Musketeer Ryan Peash about to hurl his 11th pitch. And it's a strike right down the heart of Erie Street. Infield back, outfield shaded a bit to right with a big gap in left center. Parker can run just a bit above average, fouled out of play. St. Mary's is coming off a win their last time out. They knocked off Grosse Pointe University Liggett. They've played some tight games this year, a couple of one-run wins. Brian, something they didn't have till late in the year last year.
Yeah, it's something about playing at Catholic Central that always happens. And CC's a good team. I'm not saying they're not, but playing at CC, the wind blows a little weird, and it's always very, very close, like one-run games.
There's a hard hit ball to right. It's hanging up long enough, and the catch is made by the right fielder, Zolligan. So that'll leave it up to the left-handed hitting third baseman, Blake Grimmer, who had a prolific junior campaign, his first year of high school competition last year in the state of Michigan. Of course, sat out the COVID year and did not play prior to that, but Grimmer with some gaudy numbers a season ago, and they're pretty good this year as well, batting .500. He's drawn 6 walks and has 4 doubles. Big cut to miss.
Grimmer's got power. We've seen that on display. He can really turn on the ball. He can drive the ball up the opposite field gap. Big outfield here in this stadium. This is not the St. Mary's outfield.
It's 330 down the left field line, 400 to center, 330 to right. And 370 to the gaps. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, nobody on, no score, top of the first. St. Mary's ranked number 1 in the state of Michigan, number 7 in the country, or 4 in the country at the highest poll. And Walsh Jesuit ranked as high as 3rd in the state of Ohio. Strike called at the letters. 1-2.
It was a pitch I think Grimmer might have thought was a little up, but it was a strike for my eyes. But 1-2, Mary's has done a pretty good job being patient so far. First 3 through the lineup. The first 3 hitters in the lineup, rather.
Upstairs to Grimmer, yet to hit his first home run this year. He has driven in 3, a slower start than folks were used to. This is one of the top players in the state of Michigan in the class of 2023. Where do you guys have him ranked?
He's 1 or 2 in the state.
Yeah.
1 through 3. Him,
Sure.
Purify, and Pico. Those 3 are kind of the top of the state right now, with Evan Hager in that mix too.
Yep. Inside, just missed. The home plate umpire thought about it, and Peash thought he should have thought a little bit longer about it. We should have no complaints today about the home plate umpires, right, or any umpire. We're happy to have them.
Something of note as Peash gets up towards 20 pitches here in the first inning. This is obviously a coordinated plan, but it's not specific to facing him. This is the St. Mary's approach.
That's right. strike 3 call. Beautiful pitch, and Peace putting on a performance in the top of the first. The Eaglets go down in order on the backwards K right here.
Just kind of a little bit of swing back fastball action right at the top of the strike zone. A perfect pitch.
Years of playing sports took a toll on my feet. The worst was the tear in my Achilles tendon. I went to fix my feet today, and I've been pain-free for 2 years. I'm back to pickleball 5 days a week. Amazing!
I've been fixing foot pain for decades. Don't give up hope. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Let's take a look at the Walsh Jesuit lineup. Alejandro Covas leads off, the center fielder batting .444. Joey Canzoni also headed to Cincinnati in that number 2 hole, batting .400. Mason Eckelman, we talked about the defensive abilities. He's also an offensive juggernaut, .533 for the future Cincinnati Bearcat. John Simasek, the senior DH, batting .529. 5-hitter Zachary Halligan, who caught one there in right field. Justin Bremner in left field will bat 6th. Batting 7th, Matthew Serdenak, followed by Gardner and Salick. For Walsh Jesuit, who is 4-1 under their first year head coach, and Joe Bowers, a guy that spent some time at the JV level as an assistant, coached JV baseball, basketball, and he's kind of worked his way up. You see the defensive lineup: Bosenow in left, Crichton in center, Rustevich in right, and that's Grimmer at third, who picks and fires to first for a quick out, number 1.
And that's exactly what you're going to see, I think, tonight from Aiden Donovan. That was a first pitch changeup, a little bit out in front of it, still really hit it hard on the ground, but just being out in front that much is what causes that to be a ground ball. It's a heavy pitch, it's low spin, he likes to throw it, he wants to get ground balls to the left side of the infield.
Kovas is out. Here comes Joey Canzoni, the shortstop, and it's a fastball on the inside corner for strike 1.
Donovan wants to own that arm side of the plate, whether that's to lefties and try and get it to hit off the end of the bat, or to righties and get it hit off the handle of the bat. The sinker and the changeup move in that direction with a lot of heaviness. There he is spotting up to the glove side, and now he can do whatever he wants.
Gets the call from Cowdery. Line shot right field, that's trouble. That's down the line, and that could be extra bases. Parker Brustevich over to field it. The throw to second, not in time. And so it's a 1-out double to right off the bat of Joey Canzoni. And he's a high major player, and that's why.
No question. Canzoni is another guy I've seen play quite a bit in the summertime at the Perfect Game events. And that's just a good piece of hitting. Probably one too many fastballs for Donovan there. Left that one. It's not in a bad spot. It was over the outer third of the plate, but Canzoni, a really talented hitter, not trying to do too much with it, whistles it the other way.
So a runner in scoring position for the first time tonight. First hit of the ball game, either way. And that will bring up the number 3 hitter, Mason Eckelman.
It's a change up there from Donovan. He likes to start at bats off with him. It's just a pitch he's really comfortable with.
Eckelman's a guy you need to be careful with. 6'2", 215, committed to be a Buckeye next year. And this guy hit .392 with a few home runs and 23 runs driven in last year. And on his way to all Ohio honors. And it doesn't look like Aiden wants anything to do with him.
It's change up away, two-seamer away. Clearly not wanting to come inside to this guy, and not necessarily blame him either, but might be one of those unintentional, intentional free passes.
He's got Simasek on deck, and that's exactly who he will see. So 1 out, 2 men on, Aiden Donovan for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who comes in with some good numbers on the year. Aiden is pitching in his 3rd game. He's 2-0. He's pitched 11 innings total. giving up just 5 hits and no runs. 12 Ks, 6 walks.
He's got a chance for ground ball here. I'm sure that's what Matt's thinking. I'm sure that's what Aiden's thinking. Keep throwing that heavy pitch inside to a righty, get you a ground ball, try and get out of the inning with a double play.
Aiden, the Michigan State Spartan commit, did that over the fall, I believe, or that last signing period. I get lost with all the sports and when their signing periods are, but it was recent. So Canzoni on at second, Eckelman on at first. No score, bottom of the first. And that's a breaking ball that's beautifully bounced over the outside corner for a strike.
That's what his breaking ball looks like. It's a little bit softer, or lower 70s, but he can sweep it across the zone to righties. It's a pitch he likes to throw early and counts for strikes. It's another one there.
Quickly ahead, Donovan last time gave up an 0-2 double. Don't want to be too juicy here, right, Brian?
Right. I don't know if I'd triple up on that breaking ball. I'd maybe try and run that sinker in on the hands.
Up the middle,
Bingo.
could be 2, and it's not. Snatched up the middle in a fine reactionary play by Jason Oliver, but couldn't get it over quick enough to McKay. Nonetheless, there are 2 outs, and not out of water yet, but a quick out on a struck ball pretty firm.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. He got that sinker in on the hands. That ball was hit up the label. That wasn't a barrel, pretty akin to a ground ball. And good base running out there by the leadoff guy there at second base to have the instinct like that to get right back.
Yes, sir. Here's Zach Halligan as Cowdery lost it but regathers. St. Mary's, as Brian said, have not played in 6 days since they swept Liggett back in Orchard Lake last week. 2 men on, 2 men out. No score, bottom of the first. Canzoni on second with good speed. Eckelman on at first, not so good speed. That's a slide piece over for a strike. 1-1.
It's the more comfortable Donovan is with that breaking ball, like we're seeing now. He's comfortable with it right away. He's comfortable with it starting off at bats. That's the better he goes. When he becomes fastball changeup, guys kind of sit on him a little bit. But when you have that pitch moving away from righties that you can land. It was a sinker there down at the bottom of the zone. Probably caught a little bit too much plate, but now 1-2. You can do a lot of different things here, but most importantly, we got to get the out.
462 hitter. All singles. Donovan ahead, 1-2. It's the sign from Cowdery, and now too much time. Outfield fairly shallow.
Cowdery and Donovan just not quite on the same page there as far as what pitch to call. Looks like they're locked in now.
Line shot left center on the run in the glove. The catch by Will Boisenau in the gap, and a rob of a gapper. Good anticipation, and it gets St. Mary's out of trouble with 2 on in the first. Back for the top after this.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
So Walsh Jesuit strands a couple, and the team out of Cuyahoga Falls Not too far down the road. What, 20 minutes or so, Brian?
Just about, yeah.
And just pretty much an Akron suburb. A couple nice breakfast places there. I always rate towns on their breakfast places.
It's more than fair.
He's Brian Sikowski, national cross-checker at Perfect Game. My name is Chad Bush. Glad you're with us. We are The Prep. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. No score, top of the second. Walsh Jesuit had their chances, though, in the first.
Yeah, and they hit some balls hard. St. Mary's got really good defense. Even to start the inning, the first pitch of the inning, Blake Grimmer made a great play to his left on a ground ball that may have been a double had it gotten past him. So a good play up the middle by Jason Oliver. Boyson now makes the play in left field. Donovan doing a good job throwing strikes, doing a good job getting ahead of hitters. Now needs to start putting them away a little bit. Can't rely on barrel finders to all be caught. But he'll make that adjustment that the changeup will come back into play a little bit more. We'll see.
Right on. This is Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium, of course, named after Thurman Munson, who tragically was killed in a plane crash trying to land at the Akron-Canton Airport, August 2nd, 1979. Former New York Yankee and a former Canton native, and they have rightfully so made this his namesake. That's an off-speed pitch over for a strike. This is St. Mary's top hitter right now, Jason Oliver, who has been all the rage with a bat, the Indiana commit and shortstop, having a special start to his season, Brian.
Yeah, a power right-handed bat who can really play short and has big-time arm strength that we see on the mound. He's a really good player who's an important piece of the St. Mary's team, and he's going to have to hit with 2 strikes now.
Quickly ahead, Ryan Peesh coming out and firing. Peesh has already thrown 21 pitches after a 1-2-3 first. Brian McKay worked him for a 10-pitch at bat. The cleanup hitter. And he's fooled with that one. Uno, dos, tres. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Peesh goes right after Oliver and fans him.
Yeah, that was just kind of setting him up and putting him away. That's the big breaking ball for the strikeout, but he started that at bat with more of a slider look. We saw a fastball first strike and then that curveball.
This is the freshman Hudson Brustevich. This is a 9th grader. And for a 9th grader, I mean, we keep seeing these 9th graders that look like this. This is a mature hitter. And another line of Brusteviches that continue to be pumped out.
And Hudson's a little bit different player than his brother in that he's left-handed. Parker obviously being a right-handed hitter, but they are similar in a lot of ways. They can really hit. It's mature approaches. It's guys whose bodies say that they'll have power long-term. They can also contribute on the mound, play corner infield, corner outfield spots. Similar players, but hey, Hudson's left-handed.
Which is nice.
Absolutely.
375 hitter. 6 singles on the year to his credit. And he looks at one just below the knees. 2-1, the freshman left-hander.
Peach working in the upper 80s with the fastball. Been 88, 89 for the most part so far. I haven't gotten every pitch, but right in that upper 80s. Breaking ball in that mid-upper 70s range.
About as expected, I suppose. There's a number back to the mound. He's going to have to hurry to get Brustevich, and he does. Fine play by the shortstop, Joey Canzoni, who had to hustle to make this one work.
That's a really good play up the middle there. Brustevich is not flying down the line, but he's moving decently well. And to be able to make that, come in, field it off balance, fully bent forward, exchange it cleanly, throw on the run from underneath. It's a true shortstop play, and it was a really remarkable one from Canzoni there.
He's committed to be a Bearcat when his days are over at WJ. That's a fastball over for a strike. This is the number 6 hitter in the lineup for Matt Petrie. This is Vincent Cowdery, the catcher who's committed to Division II Grand Valley State. And Petrie really raving about Cowdery. Look, you come in, you're replacing Ike Irish, and you only get so many reps behind Ike Irish, who's tearing up the SEC right now, as you get a look at that wonderful play by the shortstop. I mean, look, Cowdery's done a fine job. He's not Ike Irish, but they've appreciated what he's done. He's been a very good backstop.
And that's he took the opportunity to learn from Ike and Colson Titus, another guy who played in front of him. taking the opportunity to learn from guys like that who are really good at it, who have been doing it, who have the experience, and they're moving on to play at these D1 schools. And then Cowdery had a really good summer playing with D-backs elite, just caught most games back there, was a warrior defensively.
Yeah.
He's got some right-handed power. He's a good player, and this is what happens when you see those guys who work in the shadows and get their opportunities, and he's making the most of it.
4 hits, 4 runs driven in for Cowdery, and he has worked this count in his favor. Peach has not allowed a base runner yet. Cowdery trying to spoil that here. And he did. It's a 2-out walk. And that'll give way to the left-handed bat, Will Boisenau. Excuse me, the right-handed bat, Will Boisenau.
And that's, first two hitters of the inning there. A real weak number back to the mound from Brestevich, and Jason Oliver struck out on 3 straight. So important for Cowdery there to not only like we have a base runner now, but extend the inning, make Peach work a little bit longer out there. Looks like we're having some confusion as far as a courtesy runner. Maybe they don't do that in Ohio. They might not.
They do, I think. Well,
we're being told that they do. Maybe this umpire in particular doesn't like it. I don't know.
You're right, because he's not allowing a courtesy runner. So maybe Walsh Jesuit said,
"Oh yeah,
hey, look, the rules have changed."
That's not Cowdery. We have a runner out there. Yeah.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yep, we're good.
All right.
Some kind of curiosity.
We'll get a number on him soon. Somebody with good eyes. Not in this booth. Swing and a miss.
Got a lot of respect for Boyson going up there ready to take a hack, get a fastball and a strike, and that's what he did. And Boysenau's a guy Matt's talked about for a couple years now, even when he wasn't playing a ton last year on the team. But Matt was really raving about his work ethic, what he brought to practice every day, his ability to play a couple different positions, and he likes the right-handed bat.
He does. Boysenau went deep last week. And this is kind of a guy that does the little things, fills in utility. We'll see him out there. There is a pinch runner at Zane Wilson, a guy that Jermaine Gonzalez used quite a bit on his football team. And Wilson can run a bit, free safety in football, good frame, transfer from Clarkston.
And Matt is, even on a team full of stars like Mary's has been the last couple years, Matt likes to find guys' roles. It's an important part of what he does, and guys have defined roles. And the guy who's first off the bench to run for the catcher is an important role on this team.
0-2 is outside. And it's got to be a challenge with this team to find roles for guys because so many roles have just been defined.
Yep. And it's something Matt likes to do. There's always a bullpen lefty he knows he can trust. There's always a runner or two he knows he can trust. There's always someone he can bring in to play the middle infield because usually one of his middle infielders pitches. And Jason Oliver is a good example of that this year. But there's always those roles that you don't necessarily see or hear about, but they're super important to the way St. Mary's develops their team and builds their team and goes to war, if you want to phrase it that way. But this is one of those, another example of that.
No doubt. Will Boisenau at the plate. This is Ryan Peach on the mound, yet to give up a hit. Wilson leads off at first with good speed, not running. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. Peach with another hot pill down the pipe, and it ends the St. Mary's second. No score as we go to the bottom of the second in Canton, Ohio. The Midwest Monster of the Week is right here at Thurman Munson Stadium. Come on back, won't you? We're the Prep.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Years of playing sports took a toll on my feet. The worst was the tear in my Achilles tendon. I went to fix my feet today, and I've been pain-free for 2 years. I'm back to pickleball 5 days a week. Amazing!
I've been fixing foot pain for decades. Don't give up hope. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Bremner, Serdenak, and Gardner to lead things off 6, 7, and 8 for one of Ohio's finest teams, Walsh, Jesuit. And he'll face the right-hander committed to Michigan State University, Aiden Donovan, and it's a cut and a miss.
And Donovan, again, feeling really comfortable with that breaking ball to start at bats off. He located it in a good spot, got a swing and miss, and then he put a fastball in an even better spot there at 87 to get a swing and miss. Now he can do whatever he wants. You know he likes to change up. We'll see what Cowdery wants him to throw. Good pitch. Breaking ball down and away. Is a chase pitch that's not designed to be thrown for a strike. He put it in a tempting spot. A good take by the Jesuit hitter. You can reset it. He can still do whatever he wants here.
Quickly ahead, 1 and 2. Check swing. Did he go? It won't be appealed.
Another breaking ball there in an even better spot. Now you think you probably have him set up for the fastball, but I would prefer that pitch to come in on the hands.
Bremner looks at strike 3.
And that's why I was never a pitching coach. Perfectly thrown breaking ball there, frozen for strike 3.
Hey, you never know, and sometimes you got to work the opposite. So many opposite mindset strategies in baseball.
Mm-hmm. Cowdery doing a great job calling the pitches back there. That's something the Ohio folks might not know tuning in. Matt or anybody from the St. Mary's team is not calling pitches in the dugout. They do not do that. It's there's once in a while a suggestion will be sent in, but it's very much something Matt puts on his catchers. And Colson Titus did it, Nike Irish did it, and Harrison Posat did it, and Cowdery's doing it now. It's something that's important. And that ball is hammered.
Shot to left by Matt Serdenak, and the third baseman has a 1-out single. It's the second hit of the ball game. Both hits coming by way of the Warriors.
That was a changeup that was just left up in the zone. If you're going to throw that pitch, you have to bury it. You have to try and get a swing and miss over the top or a ground ball. And that was kind of in that happy zone, and it just kind of hung there, and a good swing on it. The ball was lucky that ball wasn't hit higher in the air.
Yeah. Not a lot of home runs hit here. This is a fairly deep park. 330 down the lines, 400 to center. This is the left-handed hitting Gabe Gardner.
Change up there for a swing and a miss. Talked about it a bunch. Donovan's, that's his best pitch. The pitch he feels comfortable with. 77, 78, 79 in there. Fastball's been 85, 87 today. Both pitches are heavy. His fastball spin is in that 1900, 2100 range, and the changeup is 12, 1300. That double heaviness. He's going to be a ground ball guy for the rest of his career with those traits.
Double play depth up the middle, hoping for that ground ball. It's Ryan Minnie McKay at second, Blake Grimmer at third, Jason Oliver at short. 2-1 the count, righty on lefty. No score, bottom of the second. Off-speed pitch, strike called. Aiden with another one. Heavy drop.
Donovan doing a good job of keeping guys off balance to get to 2 strikes. Now here in another 2-strike situation, have to continue to do that.
Runner not going, chopper to first. They'll have time for 1. Brustevich will tap the bag. And so out is Gardner. It'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Topher Salick, with 2 down. And WJ with a runner now in scoring position yet again.
And that's all you can do there. A ball was chopped directly into the turf. By the time it came down in Brustevich's glove, the runner was already on second. So did the right thing, go get the out, now make another pitch. Make another good pitch.
First baseman.
This is the first baseman, Topher Salick.
And the 9 hitter. You don't want to flip a lineup here.
Swing and a miss, overpowers him with that heater, that Donovan heater that can climb up to 90 at times.
Yeah, seen it 90, 91. I think he's maybe grabbed a 2, pitching comfortably in that mid-upper 80s right now, but he can reach back for it. He's a guy that you'll see later on in the game if he really wants to blow one by someone.
Fister up the middle, snatched by Oliver. 44-inch vertical leap, didn't need all of it, but he got enough to show off that athleticism that they're going to love in Bloomington.
And another example of that fastball running in on the hands. That's not a very well hit ball. That's off the label a little bit, up on the barrel. It's not flush. And for Jason Oliver, that's just see it and read it and make an athletic play, and that's what he did. We're headed to the third. It's been a great game so far, Mr. Bush.
Years of playing sports took a toll on my feet. The worst was the tear in my Achilles tendon. I went to fix my feet today, and I've been pain-free for 2 years. I'm back to pickleball 5 days a week. Amazing.
I've been fixing foot pain for decades. Don't give up hope. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Let's take a look at the Cold Weather Bats top 25. No better man to represent this top 25 and chat about it than the guy to my right, Brian Sikowski, who's one of the co-founders of Cold Weather Bats. Brian, take us through your top 25, sir.
Yeah, it's something we do at Cold Weather Bats. We put out a weekly top 25. This is our first in-season update. We'd done the first one preseason, obviously, but this is the first one in season. Some movement. St. Mary's at number 1, of course. Northfield, really, really good team at number 2. Brother Rice and Detroit Catholic Central both out of the Catholic League in the top 10. Some guys making some noise in the early going. We talked about Algonac off to a really good start. Grand Rapids Christian off to a really good start. Rochester Adams, who you'll see tomorrow.
That's right.
In a ranked matchup against West Bloomfield, off to a really good start as well.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that very much. So, for St. Mary's, they will start things off with Luke Crichton, the Indiana commit. Just a freshman. We saw Luke in the basketball court getting some burn there. And he'll face the right-hander Ryan Peace, who's cruised through this game, has yet to give up a hit.
Yeah, and Luke committed off of a camp look at Indiana. Went to the Indiana camp. They really liked him, liked the athleticism. Obviously, like what his brother became, and they're very similar-bodied. So it's just a projection play. Got a chance to play center. Maybe you can play shortstop long-term. Lots to like.
A lot of trust putting him in center field already. Swing and a miss. Peace with another K on his 40th pitch of the night to start the third.
And that's just kind of overpowering there. I don't know if Luke Crichton has seen stuff like that quite yet in his career, but that's overpowering right there from Peach. Set him up perfectly for that fastball up in the zone, and Crichton's not catching up to that one yet. Maybe next year.
That's right. So that is the 5th strikeout already of the night against just 1 walk for Peach. Here comes the number 9 hitter, Kyle Kavik. A guy that has yet to get really enough at-bats. He's just 2 plate appearances and 1 official at-bat. And Matt Petrie likes him as a guy that can really run, a guy that's a smart player, a scrappy player, and a guy that was on JV last year. And this is a rare opportunity for St. Mary's to get a guy like Kavik who can come in and be a utility guy.
Absolutely. And looking forward to seeing what he has. Good swing on a ball there.
Fly ball, right center field. That's going to drop in. And it's going to get under the glove of Kovas. And the first hit of the night belongs to the junior Kyle Kavik, who gets things cooking in Canton with a 1-out single.
Yeah, it just went up and got a fastball and took a rip at it. It's kind of all we're looking for there. And anytime you can get production from your 9-hole, that's something important. He's an athletic-looking guy. He's got those hockey legs. He kind of looks like Jake Dresselhaus did a little bit. And it looks like a baseball player. Now you flip the lineup with the runner-up. Maybe Mary's can make some noise here.
So Ryan McKay, the leadoff man, who struck out his first time up, the Michigan State commit. comes to the plate and looks at one at the top of the zone.
Looks like Matt's asking for a balk.
Yeah, Baby Peach is coming down to have a little bit of a chat.
It looked like, upon further review, I know we haven't seen a replay, but I think there was a little bit of a rocker step there, which, if I saw what I think I saw,
yeah,
it would have been him going from the windup, which is dumb to do with a guy in first, but maybe not a balk. But Matt doesn't get up in arms about things unless he's like, yeah, there it is. Yep, I was going to say Matt wouldn't be doing this unless he was sure he had a point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the appeal worked, and the communication worked, and now, of course, you get the other side, the flip side of this, and now we're going to get a word from Joe Bowers, the first-year head coach. And here's the replay, and couldn't see it there.
I think there was just a little bit of a pre-pitch, like he settled and then resettled, and when he went to the plate, Matt yelled it out. I heard him say it from up here, and that's all it takes sometimes. Ask the plate umpire, and we should get a look here. No, see, it looks like that looked to me like he just did his windup, which I don't think is a balk. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's just like something you don't do because the runner gets an advantage. But
so no count, and it's now one strike. So 0-1 is the count. With one out, a man on second, top of the third, no score. St. Mary's has just collected their first hit of the game from their number 9 hitter. What a season a year ago for Ryan Minnie McKay. 9 hits right now to lead this team. And this one's knocked foul.
McKay's a guy, he's going well when he's using the whole field. He likes to pull the ball. He likes to get the ball in the air pull side. He has power in that direction. He's probably hit 8-9 home runs in his St. Mary's career. Like, there is power that way.
Sure.
But he's at his most complete as a hitter when that opposite field gap is in play, when shooting a ball over the shortstop's head is in play.
Kavik with good speed edges off a second, and that one nearly nipped McKay, and Kavik will motor down to third and get himself in scoring position.
Huge moment, huge 90 feet there. Obviously, it creates a situation where now McKay doesn't have to get a hit for that guy to score, for Kavik to score. And Mason Eckelman doesn't let very many balls get away from him. So you have to win those 90 feet when the opportunity presents themselves, and they did right there. Good instincts from Kavik. I thought Eckelman might even try and get him there, but good immediate break on the ball.
Can McKay get him in? Popped up, he won't do it here. Coming over is Salick in foul territory, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
Some high skies there with these lights that looked like more of an adventurous pop fly than it should have been. But either way, a great pitch in a great spot. You know that McKay's up there thinking he doesn't have to be selfish. He was up there thinking just score this run, hit a ball hard, and to make a good pitch like that, get him all over his front side and change the angle. It's a great pitch, and we've seen a bunch of them from Peach so far tonight.
Do you play this game a little different? Now that you know you're facing the guy in Peach, is that a run that you just got to play a little bit differently now, moving forward, now that you've seen what Peach has and how dominant he can be?
Yeah, I think small ball becomes more in play as a game like this goes along. Matt doesn't want to if he doesn't have to, because if he doesn't have to, it means they've scored 12 runs.
Yep.
So I think small ball becomes a little bit more into play a second time through the order. You trust your leadoff guy there, one of your best pure hitters on the team, McKay, to do the job. And he didn't. He lost that battle, and that's okay. But I think in a game like this where we're seeing runs become at a premium, the small ball may open up. Matt may start to do a little bit more of that team offense stuff.
Parker Brustevich at a 1-1 count with a man at third and 2 outs. And now behind 1-2, Peach with a nice looking pitch there.
Yeah, it looked like a breaking ball in the inner part of the plate. Just kind of in a dead zone spot where you're not quite sure as a hitter if it's going to keep breaking to be a strike or not. But another situation here where he's going to make a good pitch.
Off speed up top, and again we see maybe the pitcher and catcher not on the same page. Eckelman looked like he caught it funky. However, Parker Brustevich, a guy that has driven in four runners this year, batting .267. Coming off a fine sophomore performance, was a 4-year, he's on track to be a 4-year varsity player. 2-2 with 2 outs. Let's do it again. Pitch number 50 from Peach is fouled away.
And at a program like Mary's, you touched on it, Chad, being a 4-year starter, there haven't been many. You know, there have been some, but there have not been many. Jake Dresselhaus was not one of them. He didn't start as a sophomore. He didn't start as a freshman. Sophomore was COVID. But the point being, you can name them on one hand for the most part during the Mary's run.
The Notre Dame commit awaits. Run it full.
And this is Brustevich. This is who he is. It's a guy who knows the zone. He doesn't expand very often. He's willing to walk. He's a high-level contact hitter. As he's gotten bigger and stronger, there's become more impact in that offensive game. But it's a dude who can hit. And his brother's a lot similar. I think we talked about that already. Hudson will end up being a very similar player.
Runner at third is Kavik. Breaking ball is taken for ball 4. Peach was headed off the mound.
With absolute confidence, Parker Brustevich took that breaking ball that I thought was a strike from up here. But it's a great pitch. It really is a great pitch. We'll see on the replay here. Yeah, ball's out.
Yep.
That's out. It's a tough pitch. It's a good pitch in a good spot. And he hit the spot. Just that's a ball.
Here comes Blake Grimmer. And this is the Tennessee commit, Blake Grimmer. Big left-handed stick. Got power, gap power, can hit for singles. Really a good quality hitter in this lineup.
Big spot here for him. Big spot for the senior.
Brustevich, not a guy you would expect to run. Big swing and a miss.
No, Matt's going to – I mean, I would be surprised if we see Brustevich in motion here. Matt wants his we got the number 3 hole hitter at the plate, the kid going to Tennessee, one of the top-ranked players in the state. Leave the result here in his hands.
Chopper to second, should end the inning, and it will. So, St. Mary's strands a couple. They got Kavik to third with 1 out and couldn't score him. Peach continues to pound the zone, and St. Mary's will go to this scoreless bottom half of the third.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Kovas, Canzoni, and Eckelman for Walsh Jesuit 1, 2, and 3 for one of the top 3 teams in Ohio. What you say, Brian? That we've seen ranked 2nd and 3rd. Is Moeller still the top team undisputedly in the state?
Yeah, I think it's Moeller's up there. I think Mason High School in that Cincinnati area is up there. But of course here, Walsh Jesuit, St. Ignatius in Cleveland is another one of those schools. But I think those are, there's strength throughout. But as far as like the tippity top, I think those are the ones.
Yeah. So Donovan has given up a couple of hits, and this is one of the guys that he gave a hit up to.
And Donovan, for the rest of his career, and obviously a high upside, high performance pitcher here is going to get a strikeout there. He's going to give up some hits. That's the virtue of his stuff.
Yeah.
It's meant to get early, weak contact and have 6-pitch innings where guys hit balls on the ground. And he's not a traditional sinker slider guy because he's a sinker changeup guy.
Yeah.
But the stuff is designed the same way. So he's going to do that. That's just by virtue of what the stuff. But he's also got a chance to be one of the more efficient guys because we could see him throw 35-pitch complete game in Catholic League ball this year. You know what I mean? Something ridiculous like that.
He's been around the zone tonight. 21 of 30 pitches have been strikes. And now he's up against Canzoni, and he laces one deep to left. But having a beat on it is Will Boysenau, who makes the snatch in medium depth left field for a quick out number 2. He gets a lot of quick outs too, Brian, and that helps in the pitch count category. And we're seeing that now between both these fellas. One's at 50 plus and one's at just 30.
Exactly, and that's a point I think I was going to bring up too. I think it's smart of you to bring it up. It's Donovan wants to force early contact. A negative byproduct of that is he will give up more contact.
Yeah.
A positive byproduct of that is what you're seeing. Is he can be more efficient. He can get quick outs. He can work deeper into games. And now, it's challenging early in the count. It's challenging in the strike zone. It's not letting guys get comfortable. That's his approach.
Eckelman is built how a catcher should be built. Left-handed, throws right, and has a big body, and has a big bat who can hit for average in power, and he's up there now. They like him at Ohio State.
Absolutely, and they should. The last time he was up, man on second, 1 out, so you could tell Donovan just kind of stayed away from him a little bit, change-ups out of the zone, fastballs out of the zone. But now with nobody on, 2 outs, interesting to see how they're going to attack because they will attack. There's no use in giving this guy a free base here. So I would expect a steady diet of changeups, still try and get him to roll over, but you can't yank that changeup and leave it in the happy zone to a left-handed hitter. So we'll see.
These two are going to see each other quite a bit over the next 2 or 3 years in the Big Ten. Changeup misses slow and or away. 2-1 the count, no men on. 2 outs, no score, bottom of the 3rd. Grounded to first, booted by Brustevich. McKay to back him up, and he couldn't get him in time. That'll be an error on Brustevich. And that'll be a 2-out base runner at first base. Here's another look.
Yeah, that's just it's a hard hit ball on the ground. A couple steps to the right there for Brustevich. That's an error. I know it was a hard hit ball, but got to come up with that or at least knock it down. McKay in a good spot to make a throw. Donovan in a great spot PFP-wise and to make that out competitive. But, yeah, hey, got to come up with that.
Pinch runner will come on, and it's Alex Ramon Johnston for Walsh Jesuit to run for Eckelman. That'll bring up John Simasek. Simasek, the designated hitter tonight, and he looks at a first pitch strike.
The story of the night so far for Donovan. Immediately grab the ball and go, first pitch strike. He likes throwing that breaking ball for a strike there on that first pitch. He will double up with it. We'll see if he'll do it here. Looked like he did.
Yep, sure did. Nubbed back towards the St. Mary's dugout along the first base line. This is the home of Canton McKinley High School and the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs were in the house earlier. Some of the true Bulldogs are still around. And the OGs are with us in the press box to our left. And we appreciate them sticking around. They were not hired to do this, but they stuck around for the betterment of the team. The greater good, you should say. And we thank them for that. McKinley and Massillon. Swing and a miss, and the strikeout is completed, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in the inning as Donovan dodges a knockout as he heads to his first base side bench. Brian, he's starting to heat up.
Yeah, he looks great. The breaking ball is a little sharper than I think I even expected it to be tonight. He's throwing everything for strikes. He's commanding it. He's keeping guys off balance. He looks great.
innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
His name is Brian Sikowski. My name is Chad Bush. This is the Baseball America North Central Region preseason rankings. And there you see these two prize programs paired together. St. Mary's number 1, Walsh Jesuit number 7. That was coming into the year. There could be some movement there. Perfect Game will be coming out with their regional rankings in a couple of weeks. So we'll get to see some good love there in a moment. But Brian, your thoughts on the Midwest baseball in this region and just how it's grown in recent years?
Yeah, I think you're missing Brother Rice there from Michigan. St. Mary's is rival as far as that Baseball America list goes. But we've talked about this on the show before, the proliferation of better player development facilities in the Midwest, in the North, that you can do inside, where you are now making baseball players develop along the same pattern and same time frame as the kids in the South who can play outside all year round. All of a sudden, high school baseball is as good as it's ever been up here, and people are taking notice.
How about it? Fun to see for us northern snowbirds. Here comes Jason Oliver, the shortstop, and Peesh throws one inside. Peesh has just tossed his 55th pitch of the night.
And he's built up. I imagine this is his second or third start. I don't know if 100 is the pitch count, but I'd imagine he's built up towards 70 or 80 at least. So this is not a run and get the bullpen ready type of situation yet. But St. Mary's, unless they fall apart here and start taking really bad at-bats, has guaranteed themselves of seeing the Walsh Jesuit bullpen at least at some point.
No doubt. Oliver has some pop in this bat. It's a big right-handed bat, and it's just gotten more powerful over the winter. 4 home runs this year, 17 runs driven in, which is far better than anyone else in the lineup. The next closest guy in RBIs has 5. He has 17.
Jolly driving them all in by himself, man.
I mean, he's had a grand slam this year. He's got 8 walks to lead the team to go with those 17 RBIs. And you said, I mean, that's a staple of the Matt Petrie offensive attack.
It's a very important part. It's something that it seems easy to say, but then you see St. Mary's against David Lally from Grand Bank a couple years ago. You see St. Mary's against pitchers like this where they're really, really good and they're used to just dominating. And now all of a sudden they have to almost navigate more of a college lineup. With the approach and with the zone knowledge, and it just makes it so tough on these guys, and that's the sign of a Mary's offense.
Right. 2-1 is grounded to short. Canzoni up with it clean, and the flip across the diamond for out number 1 in the St. Mary's 4th. So Massillon and McKinley played prior to this. We had a 50-minute delay because there were no umpires that were assigned. No big deal. But credit the hustle to get some umpires from we don't know where, but they look pretty good. And we're playing baseball, and we've got a dandy like we expected. It's scoreless here at Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton, Ohio. What a beautiful night and beautiful facility.
It feels like summer today, Chad. It really does.
Yeah.
It was almost too hot.
Oh, you stop it. It was 80 down here. It was 74 when we left Detroit. So, yeah, it got a little warmer, as promised, when you head south. You got a short jaunt back home. We might crash at your crib.
That's listen, I told you all before the broadcast, I have absolutely no sympathy for you. The amount of times I've had a 3.5-hour drive myself after a game at St. Mary's that ends at 9 o'clock or whatever. No sympathy at all. There's plenty of places to stop on the turnpike. I hope you all drive safe.
Hey, as long as Swenson's is still open, as long as there's a Wendy's,
7-Eleven even. It's fine.
Yeah, but we want to do an Ohio staple at least.
Okay, fair. Yeah, Wendy's is fair.
Yeah.
They have Raising Cane's down here. None of those in Michigan.
I know, highly overrated.
It is overrated, but they don't have them in Michigan.
But they don't have them in Michigan, and that Raging Cajun, or that sauce is really good. Pitch outside. By the way, we got a wonderful recommendation on the pizza from our friends up here in the press box. And what's the name of this joint? Pizza Oven. Yeah, it came correct. Thank you for that.
Very hot, very quick.
Yeah,
outstanding.
And it wasn't Little Caesars, but it was hot and it was ready. Here's the pitch. Strike called in the outside corner. Meanwhile, amongst all that banter, there was a hit by pitch.
Yep.
Hunter Brustevich is on at first base with one out. And this is Vincent Cowdery, the catcher, the senior committed to Division II Grand Valley State.
Peach still holding the velocity, lots of 87, 88, 89 still here in the fourth inning. The breaking ball, we've seen it's got that, he can kind of blend it. He's got that true 12-6. He's got more of a slider look. I think we've seen a changeup or two as well.
Yeah.
Full 4-pitch mix, a guy who's mostly around the zone, hasn't been exactly dialed in command-wise, but.
Got him there. Sixth strikeout of the night for Peach. Brustevich holds at first. And that was a dandy.
Yeah, that's just 88 miles an hour right down the middle, and Cowdery is behind it by a fairly significant amount on that particular one. But that's what it is. It's been so far. It's real good stuff. When he's throwing strikes with it, St. Mary's hasn't really been able to do anything. The only threats have been by the approach, not swinging at balls.
Just one hit tonight for St. Mary's against Peach with 2 outs in the fourth. And that was off the bat of Kyle Kavik with his first varsity hit as an Eaglet and just his third plate appearance as a varsity Eaglet. Man on at first is Hunter Brustevich. The man at the plate is Will Boisenow, the number 7 hitter and left fielder, and he looks at a strike called on the outside corner.
Peach is, it looks like he's got a little bit more command of that breaking ball as far as when he wants to throw it glove side. When he throws fastball, that way he's kind of yanking it. So he's kind of owning that side of the plate soft, and then arm side, the fastball's had more command on it.
Sure has. The 1-1 blown right by Boisenow. Tomorrow, St. Mary's will take on Olentangy Orange down in Lewis Center, Ohio. I believe that's in the Columbus burbs. Grove City on Saturday. And Milford, Ohio on Saturday as well. That's a double header for Eaglet fans making their way down. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7 comes to end the St. Mary's fourth.
It's just, that was domination that inning. I know we had a hit by pitch, but it didn't really matter. That's just velocity with the fastball, glove side in a good spot, way behind it. We saw a couple swings like that inning.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Halligan, Bremner, and Serdenik, 5, 6, and 7 for Walsh Jesuit to start the bottom half of the fourth inning. No score. 2 hits for Walsh Jesuit, 1 hit for St. Mary's, 1 error for St. Mary's. Strike on the inside corner for the Michigan State Spartan next season, Aiden Donovan.
Donovan doing a good job holding his stuff as well. 86, 87, 88 for the most part with the fastball with that 2-seam run.
Ground ball third. Grimmer handles it cleanly. And the future Tennessee Volunteer throws a bullet over to first for a quick out here in the fourth.
That's the example of what we're kind of looking for, or what Aiden Donovan wants to do out there. That's a 2-seam fastball with sink on the inner third of the plate. All you're going to do if you hit that on the barrel is exactly what just happened. You're going to hit a 1 or 2 hopper third, and Grimmer in a good spot to make a play. That's good bat speed there. It's a good job of doing it, but that's what we want, to get those ground balls early in counts.
Fly ball center field. This is fairly deep, but Crichton has a beat on it, and the freshman commit to Indiana makes the catch for a quick out number 2.
Indiana to Indiana on the throw in there. Jason Oliver headed there next year as well to play short and close, I'm pretty sure. To play short and pitch in the bullpen, at least, as far as my understanding of what the Hoosiers want to do with him. But again, hey, that's what, 4 pitches, 2 outs for Donovan as he kind of cruises along here?
That's right. So here's Simicek, and he fouls one away.
Shouts out to the Perfect Game high school coverage director, Tyler Russo, my colleague, tuning in from home in Georgia now, excuse me. Another ground ball.
Ground ball to third. Grimmer will handle it easily, and out is Serdenik. So a 1-2-3 inning, the first of the ball game for Aiden Donovan. We go to the top of the 5th. And Canton, come on back right after these. No score.
Years of playing sports took a toll on my feet. The worst was the tear in my Achilles tendon. I went to fix my feet today, and I've been pain-free for 2 years. I'm back to pickleball 5 days a week. Amazing.
I've been fixing foot pain for decades. Don't give up hope. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Oh, yes, Matt Petrie is quite prolific. In his 13th year, the head coach has done quite some things that most just dream of. 4 state titles, National Coach of the Year, 2-time national champion. He played his ball at Michigan. Oh, yeah, his dad was a World Series champion and major leaguer for 18 years, and his brother plays in the NHL. So Matt Petrie pretty much, yeah, he's done all that. That's his profile, and you've worked for Matt Petrie and worked with him, and he's much more than just what is shown here on this profile.
Yeah, he's a fantastic leader of young men, a fantastic developer of young men, a guy that I learned more than I could ever even repeat from in the years that I got to work on his staff and be here at St. Mary's. And just, for my money, the best high school baseball coach in the world.
Yeah.
And, whether he makes that the rest of his life or he continues on and does something else, I'm sure it's going to be incredible, and I'm lucky to have him as a lifelong friend.
Right on, well said. So back out for his 5th inning of duty is Ryan Peach. Peach like the fruit. Thank you for those folks that...
We have seen the YouTube comments, yes.
Yeah, and you, hey, listen, we appreciate
it. Yeah, now we know.
Thank you for the feedback. We've got a record of viewers, and we've got a big following in Ohio all of a sudden, so thank you. We appreciate that. See, we can be friends.
Absolutely.
Michigan and Ohio.
Just don't talk about college football.
That's right. There's a get-me-over fastball from Mr. Peach. Strike one on Luke Crichton, the Indiana commit. Center fielder who made a nice play last inning. This is a young man that played on a team that went to the state championship, state semifinals in the state of Michigan under Todd Covert. And this guy played. Yeah, what a run it was.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Entered the playoffs at 500 and would go on to the state semifinals. What a season. Crichton to lead things off here in the fifth. His brother is a freshman down at Clemson. Strike on the inside corner.
He looks so much like his brother.
Oh,
like the way he stands at the plate, the way he holds the bat, facially, obviously, physically. It's like watching Jack again at 15 or whatever. It's
really
wild.
is. Peach kicks and nearly got the kneecap of young Luke. Good build on Crichton, 6'4". Still putting on weight, but most 15-year-olds still are at this point of their lives. Deuces are wild. The 2-2 pitch coming to number 2. And it nearly got him on the noggin. Peach, his pitch count up to 72 now, as he faces the 8th hitter in the lineup for Matt Petrie and the Eaglets.
And this is, even if this at-bat doesn't end the way Crichton wants to, this is the sign of a heady at-bat. It's a young guy facing an arm of caliber he's probably not even seen in his life before, even in travel ball or whatever, and not swinging at balls, making him work, making him come to him. And now we're going to have a 7-pitch at-bat to start a pivotal 5th inning here.
Not bad for a freshman. 2 true freshmen in the starting lineup for St. Mary's. A team that's looking to win their 74th straight ball game. Luke pops it up. Very playable. Every Warrior wants it, but only Salek will get it. And there's quickly one out in the Eaglet 5th. That'll leave us to the only man wearing black tonight that has a hit. And that's Kyle Kavik, the 9-hitter, and the most unlikely of sources. But he had a solid at-bat his first time up and a good rip to right.
It's getting production from all parts of the lineup. It's an important piece. And even if you're not necessarily getting production, getting 7-8 pitch at-bats like Luke Crichton just had, that's a thing that's important too. And a pitcher like Peach, who's been dominant all night, but hasn't necessarily gotten ahead early in counts. He's gotten a lot of swings and misses battling back from being in minus counts. Getting those pitches up can matter, and it's looking like it will tonight.
Kavik awaits the 0-1. Kavik had a fine hockey season. This is one of the captains for Orchard Lake St. Mary's who had a great season in hockey.
Good hockey team.
Yeah.
There's St. Mary's too, huh?
They do. Much like Walsh Jesuit. A lot of pride in their athletics. A slide piece that finds the outside black for a 50-50 strike 2.
I think we're setting up for heat here because that was 3 breakers to start this at-bat off, get him behind 1 and 2. I think Eckelman looking in a setup spot here, probably thinking fastball.
Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes.
Actually, yep.
Thought backwards. And that's out number 2.
The second baseman, number 5.
Curveball there. You saw the full complement there, the slider and the curveball. He's got feel for both. He's comfortable throwing both. He throws both to righties and lefties. He throws both for strikes in his chase. That was a great clip there from the side. You could really see the break on that pitch. A couple, the only hiccups here are his pitch count's a little bit high. That's really the only thing that's, other than he's been sensational tonight.
Peach's 79th pitch is taken high. There is no activity in that Warrior bullpen yet, but we expect some kind of stirring at some point, you'd think. This is Ryan McKay, the leadoff man, and the future Michigan State Spartan. Taken low. We are in Canton, Ohio. And we are at Thurman Munson Stadium. And St. Mary's is, about 3.5 hours from home. And Walsh Jesuit is, about 20 minutes from Sioux Falls.
Good at bat from McKay here. Quick 1-2 to start the inning, and then here's your leadoff hitter, your senior, your veteran, working a 3-0 count. Again, one of those situations where even if this doesn't go the way you want it to, getting more into the pitch count, working the count, seeing more pitches, all of that's beneficial.
Just 4 base runners tonight for St. Mary's. And McKay will take on that 3-0 as he should and look at a strike on the outside part of the plate. Theo Piccarelli is the first base coach for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Matt Petrie, the bench boss, down at third. St. Mary's in a dogfight. The national champion on the road, on the ropes in a scoreless game. And it's a walk for Ryan McKay. We appreciate everybody watching on our YouTube channel. Shouts out. Yeah, we'll give them. Why not? Keep giving us pronunciations, unlike your school, and we'll gladly shout you out.
Visit to the mound here. This is a kind of an important moment. Leadoff hitter just got on base. Here comes the heart of the Mary's lineup. Pitch count, not in bad shape. I know we've talked about it a lot, and it's probably getting annoying, but 83 pitches through 5. The velocity's still up. He's been 86, 89 most of the night. Curveball, slider, and changeup as well. Just probably just out there, give him a breather, kind of remind him of the scouting report here, how you want to attack. Maybe worry about a little bit of team defense as well, but don't think there's any plans to remove the ball from Mr. Peach's hand right now.
No, you're going to have to battle to get that thing off of Peachy. Want to say hello to Andrew Wilcom from Walsh Jesuit, who's watching on our YouTube. Locking things down. We appreciate it. There goes the runner. Ryan McKay takes off, had a good jump, throw to second, not in time. It's a stolen base for Minnie McKay. And for Ryan, that is a stolen base number 2 of the year, and not many folks will steal a base off of that backstop Eckelman. They've got a concern about that call. Brian, did you see anything?
Yeah, I thought it was bang, bang. It looked like it could have gone either way. You could maybe even make the argument that the tag hit the helmet a little bit before Minnie's foot slid in. I think that instant replay would be used in that situation if this were a big league game, but since it's not, the umpire gets to make the call.
All right. This is Parker Brustevich as the count evens at 1-1.
Outfield still playing relatively deep in the middle and to right. For Walsh Jesuit, it looks like left is a little bit pinched in. McKay absolutely will be sent on a single, I would imagine.
McKay runs well. Brustevich looks at a really nice located breaking ball in the outside corner. 1-2 the count. There is now activity. Well, there's some stirring down there. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Peach trying to get out of a bit of a jam. The St. Mary's 5th. Gets away, and that's going to be an advancement for McKay, who makes a hard turn and holds at third. Gets a little bit closer.
Can't let that happen again. Now he's 90 feet away. Big spot for Parker Brustevich here, a guy who has some comfort in these situations because he's such a good bat-to-ball guy. He's not trying to hit the ball 600 feet. Just trying to get a barrel on it. But Peach has really good stuff. He's made big pitch after big pitch after big pitch all night long. I'm expecting another one here.
Also want to say hello to Kelly Garbig, the fine athletic trainer for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who's watching tonight in beautiful Ohio. She's eating some pizza too. They're in Greenville. So, full count, 2 outs, runner at third. High leverage situation, as they say, Mr. Sikowski.
Yeah, leverage is the name of it right here. Not the end of the world. If you walk him here, it's not like it forces in a run. You'd like to not go to Blake Grimmer with a couple runners on base if you're Peach, but he trusts himself, and he should. He's made great pitches all night.
Rustevich, swing and a miss. Peach, juicy with that one. Ends the inning. St. Mary's strands a runner at third. We go to the bottom of the fifth in a scoreless affair between a couple of prize programs showing out tonight in Canton.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Well, sometimes a scoreless game can be a thing of beauty. A scoreless Picasso. Brian Sikowski, your thoughts on this defensive battle as we enter the bottom half of the fifth inning?
Yeah, we expected a really good game. I expected a low-scoring game. Two really good pitchers, two really good defensive teams. Both guys have been on their game. Two very different games. Peach is about bat miss, and he's got big stuff, and it's not necessarily all that refined yet. He's walked some guys. He's had some deep counts. He's up over 90 pitches or whatever here after 5. Donovan, much more efficient, but much less powerful, much less bat miss. And both guys obviously pitching extremely well.
Ground ball to first. Flip over to Aiden Donovan. And the out is required. So that'll bring up the number 5 hitter in Halligan, the right fielder, with one out here in the bottom of the fifth. No score. 2 hits for Walsh Jesuit, 1 hit for St. Mary's. Just 1 error in this game. The Eaglets collected that one. But there have been players in scoring position, and it's been a pitcher's battle. Both these pitchers have really shown off here today.
It's Donovan doing what he does best, getting ahead early, forcing weak contact. That was another example of that right there. Both guys have held their velocity, have held their stuff. It's been fun, Chad. It's been fun to watch, man.
Sure has. Here's Topher Salick, the right-handed hitter, and that one nearly brushed him. Aiden Donovan still on the mound. His pitch count is at 52. So he's thrown about 30 less pitches than his counterpart tonight, who has been as equally effective, in Ryan Peach. That one misses. 3-1 the count. So Simicek started the inning. He walked him. So no stirring in that St. Mary's bullpen, but it is a leadoff walk. And Brian, you start to think if Donovan is maybe getting a little bit tired, a guy that has had pinpoint control tonight.
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, Matt wants all of his starters to get through 5 because he feels really good about Jason Oliver for 2. Maybe a little bit more than that. I think St. Mary's has an off day tomorrow before they play again on Friday, whatever it is. So you could potentially still use Jason Oliver twice this weekend because you're going to get that off day tomorrow. But the point being, Matt wants his starters to get through 5. Ideally, he wants them to get through 6. But in this situation out there, he's going to go, how you feeling, how you doing? Looks like he's going to make a move.
Wow, that's a
Chad
quick move.
Going right to Jason Oliver here in the 5th inning. He's not messing around.
So that's it for Aiden Donovan, who finishes with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. and he'll be responsible for the runner at first base. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll tell you all about the right-hander, Jason Oliver, the shortstop and closer. You should only see him for an inning or two, like Brian said. Matt Petrie might need him just a little bit longer tonight. Back after these.
Your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag G-Brand USA. G-Brand USA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
So one of the big three on this club, maybe the biggest of them all, is Jason Oliver. What a season. His senior campaign's been special. And Oliver comes in relief. Brian Sikowski has the dealio on Jason Oliver, the powerful right-handed pitcher.
Yeah, it's going to be smoke. He has good off-speed stuff, too. It's not just a thrower. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a 95 or a 96. He's been up to 7 this year. I saw him pitch Thursday, 92, 95. It's going to be velo. Matt trusts him. He throws strikes. He's pitched in big spots before. This is just going to be best on best here.
Salick on at first. Good speed. And it's a half-hearted cut from the leadoff man, Kovis, who has a hit in this game.
Charlie Hardenberg's going to step in and play second base here. Obviously, Ryan McKay moves to shortstop with this move as Jason comes to the mound. So it'll just be Hardenberg for Donovan with no change to the batting order.
Thank you, sir. Another fister that's missed, and Oliver quickly ahead with a fastball. So a man on, a man out, and the leadoff man who has a hit tonight, Alejandro Kovis, behind 0-2. Infield and double play depth. Uno, dos, tres. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Oliver doing his thing.
That was 3 straight fastballs between 91 and 92 on the hands, running in. Tough to do anything with that if you're a hitter. If you're going to make contact there, it's probably going to blow your bat up, ground out to short or something. But yeah, just 3 good pitches from Jason. He's going to come in. Aiden Donovan's a little bit more about finesse. Jason Oliver is not. So this is a different look.
Here's Canzoni, who looks at a pill down the middle of the plate and can't catch up. Ryan mentioned the change in the middle of the infield. Sometimes late in games, I mean, you're rolling the dice. Just shows the confidence Matt has, and the guys behind Jason Oliver.
And Ryan McKay and Jason Oliver, once upon a time, were the guy.
That's right.
That came in as a defensive replacement, like whenever it was, whatever it was. Those were the guys.
2 strikes, 2 outs, a man on at first. There he goes. Doesn't matter. K. Oliver lights out to close out the 5th and shut down the WJ rally. We go to the top of the 6th. Thanks for watching. We're the Prep.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Ryan Peach, outstanding tonight for Walsh Jesuit. We're going to see a mix of the strikeouts here, of which he had many. Got him on a bunch of different pitch types. Looks like we're seeing 8 strikeouts total for him. Fastball was anywhere 87, 89 for the most part. Some power up in the zone with it. We saw a big 12-6 curveball he got some whiffs on. We saw a sharper little slider. We saw a changeup in the low 80s. It's a 4-pitch mix with a good body and a good delivery. And it just not quite what we'd say fine command tonight, but threw enough strikes, was in the zone, consistently challenging, was really good, was dominant in a lot of ways. Moving on, another reliever into the game. This one, Sean Sullivan, a freshman, a 2026 grad from Walsh Jesuit, who's already committed to Alabama. He's a two-way player. It's kind of early in his career to say what most view him as at the next level, because that's 4 years away. But a lot of people, I think, maybe more of a pitcher than a two-way guy, but he can do both right now. And obviously, big spot here. Walsh trusting the freshman in a big spot.
A big spot indeed. He faces 3, 4, and 5 in the St. Mary's lineup. This is Grimmer. And the freshman powers one right by the senior stud and one of the best players in the country, Blake Grimmer. Got some lettuce on him, doesn't he, for a freshman?
Big time.
Can we get a look at his lettuce? I mean, those are some lovely locks. You can say what you want, but a lot of freshmen don't have this kind of flow or the confidence to show it. Look at that. It's Mark Fidrich.
Yeah. Outstanding work.
Good job, guys. 1-1 count. Grimmer, tall left-handed stick. Rockets one deep to left. This is trouble down the line and foul. Giving chase was Bremner. Couldn't get to it. Long strike, 1-2 the count.
Grimmer just a little bit behind the upper 80s right now, which is not obviously ideal. Both the starter Peach, upper 80s. Sullivan so far has been upper 80s, similar velocity as Peach. And Grimmer, lots of whiffs on it so far today in hittable spots. That ball was hit relatively well, but he was behind it. Just need to kind of get that launch going a little quicker.
No score. 3 hits combined in this game. And Grimmer is out on strikes. So the freshman comes in and puts down one of the finest in the reigning national champs lineup in Blake Grimmer. Here comes the closer that came on last inning, Jason with an E. Oliver.
That's a curveball, just a straight vertical breaker, a great pitch. You can see why this freshman's already committed to Alabama. Big-time stuff.
What's up with Alabama? I'm sorry, Brian. What's up with Alabama coming to the north? And I mean, we've seen a few guys in the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
Why are they dabbling up here?
So I'll tell you exactly why. Their recruiting coordinator is a northern guy. His name's Matt Rita. He's from Indiana.
Okay.
And he likes to recruit Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Michigan. He likes to get up here to do it.
Is that sort of starting to become a trend for some of these southern schools to come up and hunt here and
yeah.
I mean, is it really just a sign of respect of the talent coming up, or is there strategy involved?
I think it's both. I think some guys see it as a potential honey hole, like an untapped sort of market for that. Some guys, it's just way easier to stretch your scholarship allotment in the South because there's way more academic aid for like in-state students than there is up here.
Gotcha.
But yeah, a lot of guys see it as a potential, like I said, a little honey hole.
Chopper to third in the dirt, no problem. Fine scoop by the first baseman, Salick, to record out number 2 here in the 6th.
Another good pitch there from Sullivan. Jason Oliver just a little bit out in front there. We got pitcher on pitcher, two-way on two-way crime there.
That's right.
And now we'll see freshman on freshman. 2 of the better freshmen in the region, Sullivan and Brusevich, both nationally ranked by Perfect Game in the 2026 class. Matt kind of, letting him cool off a little bit here, but Sullivan a little bit ahead of Brusevich in his development right now, obviously. But this is still two of the better freshmen within these 2 states within the region.
Hudson uncommitted, just a freshman, but certainly a Division I prospect and will have opportunities and open his recruitment more next year. No commitment this year. No score. Outside corner strike called. Brustevich didn't love it. He's behind 0-2, and the freshman Sullivan's come on, and he's been fabulous.
Yeah, 89-90 the last couple pitches. We saw that curveball, power stuff. There it is again.
Curveball, got him on strikes. They don't even have to throw to first. And Sullivan comes in and matches the energy of Oliver, who closed out the last inning. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Every morning, I woke up with stabbing pain in my feet. Plantar fasciitis, the doctor called it. All I know is it really hurt. One visit to Fix My Feet today and the pain was gone. And even better, the custom arch supports I got worked in all my shoes.
Don't wait. End your foot pain now. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Welcome back to Thurman Munson Stadium, a beautiful stadium that has been reinvented. It was once the home of the AA Cleveland Indians, the Canton Akron Indians from 89 to 96, and the Akron Arrows, and then they moved over to Akron, and now they're the Rubber Duckies, or the Ducks?
Yeah, Rubber Ducks, right?
The Rubber Ducks, and they are in Akron, but this place is still used quite a bit, and mainly for the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. And they played before this game against their rival, Massillon. All right, back to baseball and this game. Jason Oliver back on the mound for his 2nd inning of duty, and he will face the star catcher in the Ohio State-bound Mason Eckelman.
Jason started the at-bat off with a breaking ball there after the last inning, came in with 1 out and just threw 6 straight fastballs, all swings and misses, and went and sat back down. But started off with a breaking ball there to the lefty Eckelman. There's another one.
Just missed inside. Eckelman with that open left-handed stance. And a wide stance. And he shoots one to first. Hunter will handle this cleanly and record a meaningful out, number 1.
That ball was hit hard, but again, Mary's playing pretty good defense tonight, with the exception of that one misplay by Brstevich earlier. But another hard hit ball, but Brstevich sure-handed at first base for the most part, comes up with it unassisted. And Jason will get to face righties again. He's a little bit better against righties.
The stadium holds 5,700 folks. There's probably not 700 here tonight, but
just shy of capacity. Just
shy of capacity. It's built of mainly aluminum, this place, and they've done a nice job in their renovations over the last couple of seasons. All turf. Fouled away. This is a battle going on between the DH Simicek and the reliever Jason Oliver. Simicek is a Xavier commit, went 2 for 4 on Saturday against Mentor in the Warriors' 5-0 win. Walsh Jesuit played last night and were 14-0 winners over Kenston. Looking for their 4th straight win.
Ball up and out of the zone there from Jolly with 2 strikes, trying to get a swing and miss up in that spot. Just yanked it a little bit, but we've seen him have success up there already today.
We'll see if he goes back upstairs.
Breaking ball.
Change the eye level, change the pitch, and he gets strikeout number 3 already. 2 outs in the 6th. And that'll leave things up to the right fielder, Zach Halligan.
Jolly, known for the arm strength, known for the up tempo, known for the the passion out there, but he also has a pretty good breaking ball, like as we've seen so far. He'll throw a knuckle curve too. That's disgusting, but it's a little more difficult to command.
He's saving that for the 7th. Want to say hello to the great Len Karshnia, the associate head coach of the basketball team for St. Mary's and the assistant headmaster. He's been at St. Mary's 33 years. And a great, fine addition and leader to that institution. Swing and a miss, high cheddar. And Jolly's a strike away from escaping the 6th.
Jason's velo down just a tiny little bit from last time I saw him. A lot of 91, 92, a couple 93s. A little bit down from the 92, 94, 95 I saw last week. But still, real velo. There's a 93 there. Throwing it up in the zone with a little bit of that low release height, those traits that we see that makes it more difficult to pick up in the zone. That's his bread and butter. When he commands his fastball there, he's tough to beat. He's already gotten 8 swings and misses on that spot in an inning and 2/3 or something.
Yeah.
An inning and a third.
Brian, he's not the biggest fella in the world, but his thighs are some of the biggest thighs you'll see on a human being. That's an important component to a pitcher's game, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's where the power comes from. Flexibility, your ability to move, your athleticism, but the strength, the power in the legs. And Jason is a guy who's been really focused on developing himself as a baseball player physically and in terms of baseball tools and body and mind and all that for years now. It's a guy who wants to make a living playing the game. So unsurprising to see him physically developed at this stage, but you're right, Chad, all that power in those legs. And he doesn't have to be big. The way his fastball plays, he's one of those guys who, as a shorter guy, the fastball plays best.
Halligan looks at strike 3. And Oliver with some words to the Walsh Jesuit bench as he struts off the mound to the southeast corner. Here come the Eaglets in the 7th. Trying to make some noise in Ohio. It's the border battle. Michigan against Ohio. Cleveland against Detroit. Come on back for the final inning, won't you?
I love running and working out, but my heel pain was devastating. So I go to fix my feet today, and in about 30 minutes, I walked out pain-free and could not believe it.
Even if you think you tried everything and nothing has worked for you, call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Want to thank our friends at the Headhunters. Looking to hire? Contact Bill Wineski today, 248-343-6027. You're looking for an executive in accounting, finance, and engineer. Somebody in supply chain, maybe somebody in operations leadership. Give them a call today, the Headhunters, at 248-343-6027. All right, top of the 7th, no score. St. Mary's and Walsh Jesuit in a classic. Couple of out-of-state teams that have never played in any sport at any level, but a lot of similarities between these two schools and their athletic programs.
Two powerhouse baseball programs from private Catholic schools in metropolitan areas of major cities with Division I commits up and down the lineup with histories of winning. This is a game that should be played every spring, I think.
St. Mary's 73 straight wins, 2 wins away from tying the state of Michigan record for wins in a row. That's 75 by Homer. And right now, they're in unfamiliar territory. They have 1 hit. They're in the 7th in a scoreless game. They have played 2 one-run games this year in which they've won. One against Howell in their opener 5-4, and one against Catholic Central, a 1-0 win in Novi back on the 29th of March. 2-2 the count. It's the freshman Sullivan and the Alabama commit on in relief, and he's facing Vincent Cowdery, the senior catcher. And he looks at one that Sullivan felt he deserved.
Yeah, pitch might have been a strike if it was received a little bit better, I think, but either way, a good take by Cowdery to run it full.
The leadoff pitch to Cowdery. Got him on strike. Sullivan, filthy.
Yeah, Sullivan not pitching like a freshman. It's deceptive. You see that the way the front arm starts, how it kind of comes out with a bowed elbow. That's what the hitter sees. He's not seeing what's going on behind that, which is the ball moving. So he's kind of got that late jump release out of the hand where guys see it late. It's a vertical release. He can really spin that down or breaking ball. He looks great, Chad. I've seen him a couple times as one of the higher profile 26s in the region. He looks fantastic. The development since last fall and into the winter to now, I've said it already, he looks great.
3 strikeouts in his 4 outs recorded. That one's fouled back. Will Boisenau behind 0-2, 1 out, nobody on. St. Mary's had a first and third situation with 1 out in the 4th, and they were unable to drive in a run. Walsh Jesuit has had a runner on second base at 3 different points earlier in the ball game, couldn't get a run in. Chopped slowly to third. Crichton in the on-deck circle, the freshman. Kavik to follow. He's the only fella with a hit tonight for the Eaglets of Orchard Lake, who have 4 state titles under their head coach, Matt Petrie, in his 13th year. Just a bit high.
And you could see the ride on that fastball. That even fooled Eckelman. It looks like a pitch that's maybe going to be tempting at the top of the zone, and then it ends up significantly higher than that. And even Eckelman whiffed on it, which I think that speaks to the life and the deception of the pitch.
Want to say hello to Keith Jeffrey, the St. Mary's soccer coach, who's watching him late back in Michigan tonight. That one's ripped foul up and away. I hope we can get some good grub on the way home. Is Fish? He's not listening. Is Swenson's open late? Can we find out if Swenson's is open late? Or if not, can we get a good backup plan? Getting kind of hungry. Here comes the 1-2 from Sullivan. And quite a battle right now by Will Boisenau. Not many folks have been able to see the pitch well off the hands of Sullivan, who's come on in relief after Peach went a strong 6. So the battle back by Boisenau, the left fielder, who they play with a shade opening up the left center field gap quite a bit. Could run for days in that gap. That one shot hard but fouled on the left field line. Boisenau making Sullivan do something he hasn't really had to do in this game, work a little bit.
And I think that was maybe the hardest hit ball Mary's has had all night.
Yeah.
In reality.
You're right. Yes. Boisenau entered competition with a .400 average, 5 RBIs to his tally, and he's gone deep once.
Ball retrievers coming back in. Everybody's able to play safely now. Here we go.
A lot of energy in this scoreless pitcher's battle. Both starters have exited. The relievers continuing the theme. Run it full.
Good take there from Boisenau. Have to be ready for velo. Have to be able to get to 88, 89. And it didn't matter because he threw a breaking ball like that.
Off-speed breaker, frozen pizza.
That's it takes some confidence, we'll say, to throw a 3-2 breaking ball in a situation like this as a freshman against a team like this. Like I'd have been sitting fastball too, Will. I don't blame you.
Well, you can tell by this kid's makeup. I mean, he's got something behind him. He's got some jolly type confidence.
No question. There's a lot of ability, a lot of work ethic, and we're kind of seeing it come to fruition already here as a freshman, and he's just going to get better.
This is Luke Crichton. We told you his older brother Jack is a freshman at Clemson. He had a prolific career at Orchard Lake St. Mary's in both baseball and basketball. Luke is following suit in his own way, and that's a bender that might have got just a little below the shins. Strike called. Tough look there.
Been pretty good tonight, I've thought.
Really good.
You know,
really good tonight. Swing and a miss. We're even at 2.
And it doesn't matter if he gets the occasional, not great call. If you just keep throwing breaking balls like that, no one's going to touch him anyways. So,
no doubt. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 2 at the plate. And he stays alive to see a full count. And did they say he went?
Oh, he did.
You're kidding. They say he did. And he's out on strikes. And Matt Petrie's going to walk through a Walsh Jesuit crowd to protest.
Uh-oh. Theo Piccarelli just get tossed?
I think he did. First base coach Theo Piccarelli is out of this game.
That's the Brian Sikowski memorial ejection.
We'll see if he leaves. You did not.
I left eventually.
I won't soon forget that game. So Theo Piccarelli, former Eaglet player and former Western Michigan Bronco, has been tossed from this game. And Theo doesn't say anything if he had a mouthful.
That's his first career ejection.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I know that for a fact. Like, he's very much a guy who, look at this. Well, I don't know. Are we confirming that he got ejected? We saw the umpire point. We didn't see him make the throw-out call. So I'm not sure, but we'll see. He might have just cordoned him off in the dugout. I guess that's something you can do, too. Luke Crichton did not go on that, and that's a horrible job to not at least appeal it. So, moving on. We'll be right back.
I love running and working out, but my heel pain was devastating. So I go to fix my feet today, and in about 30 minutes, I walked out pain-free and could not believe it.
Even if you think you tried everything and nothing has worked for you, call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
6, 7, and 8. Walsh Jesuit trying to win it and ruin the St. Mary's 73-game win streak. Consecutive wins for the Eaglets as they eye a state record. Bottom of the 7th. And if Walsh Jesuit can pop one through, this game would be over.
Important to note, we were erroneous a minute or two ago when we said that St. Mary's assistant coach Theo Piccarelli had gotten tossed. That's not what happened. The umpire refuses to talk to anybody who's not the head coach, so he was just gesturing for Theo to go to the dugout because he wasn't going to talk to him. He was going to wait for Matt to come down, and we've seen that happen before. We just misread what we thought we saw. So no ejections. Everything's cool. Everybody's
Your record
happy
remains
with each
intact.
Other. That's right.
No other assistant's been thrown out but my partner.
I got it twice.
Yeah. Grimmer across the diamond. He's been clean tonight. That continues.
Only one was deserved.
I know. I agree. No doubt. It was good TV for us that day. Right. Bremner is out. Here comes Serdenik.
Grimmer's been behind fastballs tonight. He has not really looked all that good offensively, but For a guy who last summer, or in his career, he's played all over the place. He's been a shortstop. Now, he's more of a third baseman, corner guy. His infield abilities, the hands, the feet, the timing, the balance have all improved, and we've seen that on display tonight. He's been really good over there.
How happy are scouts with him and his versatility? I mean, you mentioned it. He played first base last year, third base this year. He can play in the outfield. I mean, shortstop by trade. Is that intriguing, or is that just kind of every high school guy that's that good?
It's intriguing, but the most important thing when you're talking about a player of Blake's caliber, someone we're scouting for the draft as a high school senior, whether that's in play for him or not, the important thing is to decide what you think he's going to be best at long term. So having that versatility is important, but I'd rather you be pretty good at one thing than kind of good at a bunch of things. And I'm not saying that's the case. I think Blake is turning himself into a pretty solid third baseman. But the most important thing becomes, as that's an unfortunate, unforced error.
Strikeout, and Cowdery throws the ball wide of the bag, and it's a reached on error. So a strikeout, but they couldn't complete the strikeout, and here's the replay of it.
And that's what happens when you throw a little off balance, and that's all Cowdery was. He's done that a trillion times. I'm sure that the minute he did it, he knew what he'd done wrong, and I'm sure he would tell you if we had him up here next to us right now what he did wrong and how he would do it differently. Just a little bit out of character play for a guy who makes all the right plays, and that's okay. Now your closer's still in the game. He's had success. No one's made really hard contact off of him. The game is still in front of you here, and that's all Matt's saying. He's just making sure his defense is going to be where he wants him to be because there may be a possibility of some small ball here. A pinch hitter coming in, it looks like.
Sam Peace is going to come in to pinch hit for Gabe Gardner. So Gardner's been lifted. The second baseman, Sam Peace, spelled P-E-C-E. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that one, too.
And I'm sure the comments will let us know.
Sure they will. And we thank everyone for watching.
We welcome them, yes.
We do. We are learning, too. I mean, we are all learning, and we appreciate it. So thank you for watching. We have some record numbers already and for live views. So thank you very much, Ohio. Thank you, Michigan, and thank you, this World Wide Web. We're coming to folks all over. Keith Jeffries in Cancun, drinking a Miami Vice. So, I mean, we got people all over the place. Off-speed pitch is low. This is the number 8 hitter that is pinch hitting, Sam Peace. Runner on first, bottom of the 7th. St. Mary's trying to hold on for new life in the 8th and keep their win streak alive. Swing and a miss.
And nothing changes here for Jason. He's been overpowering since he came into the game. He's been missing bats. It's not like Matt told him all of a sudden, okay, start throwing sinkers so we get a ground ball. Jason's still going to be Jason. If he ends this inning via 2 more strikeouts, so be it.
Got to be yourself. Runner bluffs, doesn't go. 2-1 the count. This is the right-handed hitting pinch hitter, Sam Peace. Topher Salick, the first baseman, remains in the on-deck circle. He has a hit tonight, one of the 2 for Walsh Jesuit. Swing and a miss. 2-2 count, 1 out. Infield remains in double play depth. Again, coming in to replace the middle infield spot that was vacated when Oliver came in is number 7, Charlie Hardenberg. He's at second base. McKay over at short. Rustevich holds the runner at first. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And first base was occupied, was it not? Yes, it was.
Yep, that guy's out. Yep.
Okay, just getting some sprints in his piece. 2 outs. The runner will remain at second in scoring position. That's sort of an important play there.
Yep, smart of Cowdery to not throw to first, obviously understanding that the run base was occupied. Jason was yelling it at him too. But hey, that's a pitch. You get a swing and miss on a fastball that's out of the zone. It wasn't necessarily a wild pitch. Tough to allow that to be a passed ball that gets the runner that 90 feet. Not sure. It looks like Matt's going to this is his second visit this inning, is it not?
I think it is. And, I mean, for Oliver, this is his 2 full innings.
Or is there is the rule now you only get X number of visits and you can still take them back to back and not have to pull the guy?
You know, I missed the winter meetings.
Yeah, me too.
I was not involved in that.
I can't
so it's a
imagine
great question.
Matt would be out there if he knew he had to pull Jason. So I think, I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out.
So the conversation is over. Salick tonight 0 for 1. He did reach base with a walk in this game. So runner on second, that's the game-winning run. St. Mary's again trying to keep this streak alive. They're 7-0 this year. They've won 73 straight games. They went a perfect 44-0 last year. They went 43-1 the year before. Celine, their only blemish the last 2 years. Oliver remains in. The outfield comes in as well. Boyzenow in left, Crichton in center, and Brustevich, Parker in right. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Jason, I'd imagine, is just going to try and do that 2 more times. That's the 9-hole hitter. Your fastball's been the money pitch today. It always is. If you can continue to locate it there, you should get swings and misses, but you can't miss your spot down the middle.
Fouled back. Oliver looking for his 6th strikeout here. It would come on his 29th pitch if he could get it here. But there's a runner at second to pay attention to. That's the game-winning run. And that's Serdenik, the third baseman. 0-2 count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th in a scoreless game. Tapped foul at the plate. This game started 50 minutes later than it was scheduled to start at 7:30. And that was due to umpires that were supposed to be here but weren't, or scheduled or not scheduled. I don't know.
I think no one scheduled them. I think that's what we came back to.
Nobody scheduled them. The biggest game in the country tonight, nobody scheduled officials. The 0-2. Just a bit low. That was close, Brian.
Yeah, it might have been a little down. Either way, a good take, obviously, call the ball. Yeah, pitch is down. Yep, good pitch, good spot, good take, all the above.
Oliver checks the runner at second and delivers a slider for a strikeout in the 7th.
Are we going to play extra innings? I don't know. It seems like we're gonna. Energy in the dugout there out at St. Mary's, emptying out of the dugout. Jason Oliver, what a job out of the bullpen so far. Another strikeout here. I believe that's going to be 7 2 2/3 of relief. We're headed to the 8th. Free baseball, Mr. Bush.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
To the 8th we go. Chad Bush and Brian Sikowski. Brian is the national cross-checker for Perfect Game. We're glad to have him. He's a native of Michigan, but he's a Cleveland native now.
That's right.
And he and his fiance, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
To you and Marissa
we'll
on
be
your
getting married
engagement.
in October.
Beautiful.
Looking forward to it. And she's pretty awesome.
Awesome. In Cleveland or in Detroit?
In Detroit.
All right.
Yep. We'll be getting married in Detroit.
Love it. Outside part of the plate. This is ball one, and this is Kyle Kavik. This is the lone wolf with a hit tonight. Kyle Kavik, the 9-hitter in his first start as an Eaglet. And we'll see if he can't keep it rolling here in the ninth against Sullivan, who's been special.
We're, sorry, Chad, please.
There's a boot at third, and that's the game's first error for WJ. And lo and behold, Kyle Kavik finds himself on first base once again.
And we're not entirely sure what the rules regarding extra innings are. We've heard up here in the box from our local friends that believe there's an 11 p.m. curfew. Can't play after 11. We'll see if that means that we're going to play a set number of one or two more max innings or something like that. We don't know exactly. I'm sure they'll allow it to end in a tie if need be. We'll talk about what that does for the streak afterwards.
Yeah,
that's not all that relevant right now, but here's an important moment. You finally get a mistake on the side of Walsh Jesuit. They have not made one yet. St. Mary's has made one or two. They've been able to overcome them. Here you get to the top of the lineup. Your senior, one of your leaders, Ryan McKay, is up. You trust him to take a good at-bat and get a hit here? Do you want to force the issue and move a runner over? Lots of swing and miss tonight throughout the Mary's lineup, even at the top of the order, so no guarantee that moving a runner will do anything at all.
That's right.
Interesting to see here.
They are going to put the pitcher in mode of a bunt. It's a great one, and Ryan Minnie McKay has an infield sacrifice bunt. They called him out on a bang-bang play. Not many bunts better than this. Fine play by Jesuit to make the play.
Be interested to see the replay here because I thought he beat it, but that might be my homerism talking. It's a great bunt. A solid job by Sullivan to cover it. Ooh, bang, bang.
Tie.
As bang, bang as it gets.
Yep.
As bang, bang as it gets. One of those where you can go both ways, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Not mad at the call. I think it's fair, but I thought it was a tie, and we know the rule there usually. Runner on at second, Kavik. Represents the go-ahead run in this scoreless game, top of the 8th. This is the number 2 hitter in the lineup, Parker Brustevich.
It's a perfect bunt from McKay. Came 2 inches from being a base hit, but it's exactly where you want it. Never even a question of getting the runner over, and that's the point in the first place.
No doubt. This is a contact hitter in Brustevich, but he is down in the count, 0-2. The center fielder, Kovas, shades a bit towards right field as the pitch moves inside. 1-2.
Good take there from Parker. I thought the 0-1 pitch that was called a strike might have been a little out. That was a good take too, but either way, Brustevich going to put in a battle. Not an easy guy to strike out. He's rarely struck out in his career.
Upstairs, Kyle Kavik runs well at second base.
Those hockey players, man.
Yeah, they can play golf and they can run. They always get the girls too, you know. Always want to play
your girl
hockey.
too.
Oh yeah, they will. They'll steal your girl. They've stolen a few of mine. Swing and a miss on a breaker that just broke Brustevich. 2 are out, and that'll leave things up to the lefty, Blake Grimmer.
It's an ugly swing from Brustevich, and you don't see him take too many of those. He just speaks to the nastiest of Sullivan there. That's one of those dead zone curveballs. We say dead zone because it's at that place where you see it coming, you know it's a breaking ball, but you're not quite sure if it's going to break enough to be a strike or not. And so that often ends up with a lot of ugly swings. There's another one there from Grimmer.
No dead zone there. That was a straight drop that Grimmer couldn't catch up with. Or time, rather.
Need a base hit from him. Need one.
Evens the count, 1-1. Grimmer with a all-state season a year ago. And led this team for most of the year in RBIs and hits. And right now he's worked himself in favor in the count, 2-1.
Ideally you'd be sitting on a fastball here, but Sullivan's done such a good job throwing that breaker for strikes and getting ugly swings, and even with full counts in different situations, you can't necessarily eliminate it.
Strike called there.
Another breaking ball.
And that was a dipper.
Good pitch over the outer third of the plate. That straight vertical. He's doing a good job commanding it over both sides of the plate. That was similar to the pitch that got Prstevich.
2-2 with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Sullivan's done it again. Eaglets are out in the 8th. They get the leadoff man on via the error and nothing to show for it. To the bottom of the 8th with a win streak on the line in Ohio with time running out. Come on back to Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton, Ohio, right after this.
Years of playing sports took a toll on my feet. The worst was the tear in my Achilles tendon. I went to fix my feet today, and I've been pain-free for 2 years. I'm back to pickleball 5 days a week. Amazing.
I've been fixing foot pain for decades. Don't give up hope. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Alejandro Covas, the leadoff man, to get things started for Walsh Jesuit. Bottom of the 8th, free baseball. He's Brian Sikowski. My name is Chad Bush. Thanks so much for staying up late with us for the best baseball game in the nation tonight, right here on the Prep.
Another inning for Jason Oliver, not used to being stretched out this long, but he's also only thrown 30-something pitches. So, in his wheelhouse, Matt won't let him go too far or anything like that. This is not a guy he's going to abuse or anything like that. So,
Covas is committed to Youngstown State. He's also a Division I baseball player. He will be a Penguin next season and play in the Horizon League, where Cleveland State has just dominated, or Wright State has just dominated.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Strike 3. Jason Oliver continues to dominate himself. His 35th pitch has equaled.
There's another look here. A really good fastball in the outer third of the plate there. Perfect spot. Taken maybe a ball width on the outside of the corner of the strike zone there, but either way, a great spot from Jolly as he continues to rack them up.
7 strikeouts now for Jason Oliver. And he's done that in just over 3 innings of work. Here's Canzoni, another guy that's headed to University of Cincinnati. 1-1 the count. Jason Oliver has thrown 36 pitches. And as Brian said, I mean, this should be it. Matt Petrie.
I just don't know what his line is. I don't know what his number is, what he's built up to, what Matt's comfortable with. Usually in a closer role like that, you don't have to worry about it.
Oliver going to Indiana. guy that they see. Any thoughts on what they do see him as in the future?
Yeah, they're looking at him as a guy who's going to come right in and play shortstop right away next year. They're not necessarily worried about if he hits up in the order. They're okay if he hits ninth. Play shortstop, and they really want him to be a piece of their bullpen too. So I think he's got a chance to go in. They're good. They got a chance to win the conference this year.
Yeah.
The only everyday regular they're going to lose next year is their shortstop. So they're looking at Jason to come in and fill that role and help out in the bullpen. And if he brings anything offensively, great. But if not, they're cool with that coming later in his career.
Do you think this is a bat that can play in the Big Ten at a young age?
Yeah, I think his ability to play shortstop is what allows him to play in the Big Ten at a young age. And his bat is good enough to where he won't be a total, like, zero or anything like that, what I'm trying to say. I don't think he's going to hit 350 with 20 bombs until he's a junior in college, but the point being, going to play short, pick it up, throw it across, help in the bullpen. The team should be really, really good around him, so the pressure is not on him to perform offensively. I think he's headed into a really good situation.
Tell you what, the more he throws tonight, the more Indiana might want to think about putting him in that rotation sooner. That's his 8th strikeout of the ball game. A game that started at 8:19 today and is growing past 2 hours old, which is not old. It's not a long time to play a baseball game that is in extras.
Yep.
So this is Eckelman. This is a tough out. This is a guy that can go deep in a minute. But Oliver quickly ahead 0-2.
The catcher, Eckelman.
St. Mary's will take on Olentangy Orange tomorrow down in Lewis Center, Ohio. That'll be a 5 o'clock start. We will not have coverage of the remainder of the St. Mary's games in Ohio. We will have coverage of West Bloomfield High School against Rochester Adams, Game 3 of their series tomorrow in WB. We'll have that for you at 2:50 from West Bloomfield Field. It's awkward to say West Bloomfield Field. Maybe we'll have a different name for that field tomorrow.
The WB.
The WB.
Whatever, yeah. Remember that TV channel?
Yes. Warner Brothers. Fouled away, and Eckelman giving a battle to Oliver. Again, these are two guys that will face each other in the Big Ten for years to come, perhaps. You say years to come, but I mean, both these guys could be drafted in, this year, potentially, or in 2 years.
Yep. I think we could see this battle in Bloomington or Columbus next year, wherever that series is. Ohio State, Indiana, and a lot of Big Ten guys repped on this team right now. Obviously, Ryan McKay's at short. He's going to MSU. Aiden Donovan started this game. He's going to Michigan State as well. St. Mary's has sent guys both. I think there's 3 or 4 active players at MSU.
That's right. Ryan Kark or Dylan Kark, another one. Now Oliver started his commitment last year at Michigan.
Yep.
And flipped when that change happened.
Another guy who, like you said, Chad, the coaching change went through. Kind of talked around, talked to, I think, the coaches that left and went to Clemson, talked to the new coaches at Michigan, felt most comfortable with Indiana, and I think he's in a great spot headed there.
Luke Crichton, the freshman star center fielder, also committed to Indiana. A lot of Bloomington love on this team.
Was just there for a weekend. It's so cool there.
Isn't it nice?
My favorite town in the Big Ten, I think.
You bet. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Jolly with a giant K, his 9th of the ball game.
Showing you something a little bit different, Jason Oliver. How many guys can you bring in out of a bullpen in this situation? And he just strikes everybody out he faces. That was a great pitch in a great spot against a good hitter, Mason Eckelman. Let's go bottom 9, top 9?
Yeah, let's go top 9.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
We are the Prep. We'd love for you to get involved on our social media. If you haven't liked us already, please do. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, where you're on right now. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking, following, loving. And if you want to be a sponsor or be a part of our team, get us at info@theprepsports.com. To the top of the ninth we go. Real baseball, free baseball, and away we go. This is Jason Oliver to lead things off, and a chance to, sorry, pardon the cliche, help his cause.
What a game this has been. Nothing but good things to say. We're in the ninth. I don't even know how many strikeouts total it's been. A trillion?
Pat the Stat is in the house. He's going to get to that number when he's done PA announcing. Pat the Stat is on the PA tonight and doing stats, and he sort of prioritized the PA, but we appreciate his effort. He's doing a great job. Sullivan back for his fourth inning of duty. He's had a big night. He has 7 Ks. Peach started, he had 9. Oliver can stick it. 4 home runs on the year. He has a grand slam to his credit. He leads this team with 17 runs driven in. Seems like a good candidate to get this party started in the ninth.
Yeah, I'm sure, now with 2 strikes, the approach is different. I'm sure he was thinking maybe he can pull one over the left field wall there, but now you gotta start the engine, single up the middle, keep working a good at bat. Get time called late there.
Oliver knows how that feels, and that's why he did it, I'm sure.
Yep.
Sullivan has been the story for Walsh. The pitching's been the story for everybody all night. 3 combined hits, and we're through 8 innings. Now, there is a time limit, we think, and our friends up here have been fabulous, but we believe the state of Ohio will not let you start an inning right before 11 o'clock. And we are nearing 10:40 in the Eastern time zone. Full count. Jolly is working Sullivan here, the rookie, who's now tossed half 100 pitches.
The freshman's been amazing. Going to have to work for the order a second time, though.
Outside corner, strike 3 called. And Jason Oliver can't believe it.
I think that was a ball, but I also think Jason got that pitch called a strike in the last half. So,
that's right.
Say it. I'm not saying anything was unfair. I think that was probably a ball. Eckelman set up on the outer third of the plate and had to reach for it anyway over the white. Like, that is a ball. Yeah. But I think Jason got a strike called in that same spot last half. So
it's fair. So Hudson Brustevich, the first baseman and a freshman, and a left-handed stick with the bases empty and nobody out, or excuse me, 1 man out. Kid does have some pop in the bat. We have seen just 1 extra base hit in this game. It was a double down the right field line early in the contest, I think back in the 2nd inning. Top of the 9th. St. Mary's trying to secure their 74th straight win. What
or
would a
74th game without
Unbeaten.
A loss. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, It'd be a tough way to end a winning streak.
Yep.
I could imagine.
But this is, we talked about it in the open chat, this is that team.
Yep.
Like, the Walsh Jesuit is that good. Like, that's what we were talking about. This wasn't a, oh, you know, here we come into Ohio, we don't know anything about them. This is a team that's on par. Like,
Yep.
this is one of those challenges.
No question. 2-2 count, 1 out. The freshman Brustevich against the freshman Sullivan, and it's laced to left for a base hit. It's going to bounce off the body of the left fielder Bremner, but it's a 1-out hit for the freshman Brustevich, who had the game winner last week in a 1-run win over Catholic Central.
Good piece of hitting there, not trying to do too much. Got that fastball out on the edge and just kind of shot it the other way. Good balance to his swing, just a good approach angle, attack angle like we talked about. Good job by the left fielder there to not try and be a hero and let that one roll all the way to the wall. Kept it in front of him even if it was a little bit of an awkward play. Still did what he was supposed to do.
So here is Vincent Cowdery, the catcher. 2 hits for each squad. 2 errors for St. Mary's, 1 for Walsh Jesuit. Top of the 9th in a scheduled 7-inning affair. Not a big lead at first.
I doubt he's. I'd be surprised if Brustevich was in the run game here. Maybe a hit and run or something like that, but I doubt that this is going to be a steal situation.
Are you surprised we have not seen a pinch runner in this spot?
No, Brustevich is not slow, you know. So I think like maybe that he's thinking of a pinch runner in a different situation, depending on guys who are slower. Cowdery being one of them as a catcher, but the point being, I think he trusts Brustevich to run the bases correctly.
Yeah. This one's flown to center, regular depth, high, carrying, but caught by the future Penguin Kovas. Retrieving back to first is Brustevich, and so now 2 outs in the St. Mary's 9th, and that'll leave things up to Will Boysenau.
Boysenau's taking some good swings today. Cowdery, not a bad swing there, was just under it. I thought he got it on the barrel. Not that would have like been a home run or anything, but I think he made pretty good contact. The swings are getting a little bit better against Sullivan the second time through, but he's still very, very good, very gross.
Pitch in the dirt, gets away, and Brustevich was on it. A solid secondary lead got him to second, and he's now in scoring position, Brian Sikowski.
It's good base running.
With 2 outs.
It's an important part of the game. It's something Matt preaches. It's something that, you know, St. Mary's works all the time is dirt ball reads. That we want to be able to take 90 more feet if that ball gets 5 feet away from you or more. So having that awareness, taking a good secondary lead, being on the balls of your feet balanced when it happens, all that timing stuff, that's what goes into that.
Boysenau looks at one downstairs, ahead of the count now, 2-0.
I would bet breaking ball coming here. Sullivan's had a lot of feel for that pitch tonight, throwing it when he's behind in counts. Hasn't gotten a good swing on one yet, so that would be my guess.
Upstairs, lays off.
I'd be wrong.
So, critical point of this baseball game. This could be the final at bat for Orchard Lake St. Mary's here in the 9th due to time restrictions. 2 outs, 3-0, and it's a get-me-over fastball right down the heart of Canal Street.
That's Boysenau may have the take here even.
Why not? Behind him is Luke Crichton, the freshman in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss at ball 4, perhaps.
Got to be able to rein it in here as a hitter. Got to be able to protect the plate. Got to be able to use the whole field. No value in trying to hit the ball as hard as you can. This is a huge park. It's probably not going out anyways. So control the zone, control the barrel.
Sullivan deals. That one's driven. Deep to center, Kovis going back, and he dropped it. He dropped the ball. Into score comes Brustevich, and St. Mary's leads 1-0 on the center field error by Kovis on a sharp shot from Boisenau. 1-0 OLSM in the 9th on a hard hit shot that couldn't be handled.
A great swing. It really was. Boisenau took a great swing on that pitch. He hit it really hard, but that's a playable shot in center field. We saw it. Center fielder got back there routinely. He wasn't busting or anything like that. Just, I don't know if he blinked. I don't know what happened there. He just dropped it. And all of a sudden, after a full 2.5 hours of basically being lifeless, St. Mary's is ahead in this game. And I would have to imagine this is Jason Oliver's game to close if he wants to as well.
Wow. A run on an error, the second error of the game. It was a challenging play. I mean, this was not a easy play. You're a center fielder running with your back to reach out, make the catch, but Kovis feels as bad as anybody in this ballpark. It wasn't a routine play by any means.
It was not a routine play. I think there was an element there of him kind of drifting back to it rather than running to it and getting under it. Not going to, tough play. It's dark. The lights, I'm sure, are weird out there. The ball was hit well. It's a tough play to make turning around like that. But, yeah, I mean, he had to have that. I'm sure he'll tell you that, too.
Yep. So, here we go. Crichton, the batter. This is Luke Crichton, the freshman. So the freshman scores the run, Hudson Brustevich. Boisenau blasted it. And the error is capitalized on by the Eaglets. Breaking ball over for a strike. Sullivan with some chicken left on the bone here. He's got a runner at second now he can't forget about.
It's I think he's locked in here. You're right, Chad, but Sullivan's doing his best to just lock back in and try and put that behind him, and through no fault of his own is on the hook for the loss here if it were to stay the way it is. Important to remember that Jason got through the heart of the order last time, so he'll have 4, 5, 6 rather than having to go through Eckelman or Canzoni.
Crichton grounds one foul. We stay at 1-2. And out there at second base, Zane Wilson has come on to pinch run at second base for Will Boisenau. Strike 3. Crichton's out. Couldn't handle the high cheddar. Strikeout number 10 for Sullivan. But St. Mary's has the lead. It took us 8.5 innings of baseball to see a run in this game, but the Eaglets take advantage on the Boisenau blast, and we're headed to the bottom of the 9th.
We begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag G-Brand USA. G-Brand USA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Bringing it back here, Jason Oliver in relief of the starter Aiden Donovan. Much like their counterparts on the Walsh Jesuit side, Jason Oliver's been outstanding in relief. He has 9 strikeouts of the 11 batters he's faced. He has not walked anybody. The pitch count is in check. This is his game to win. Matt Petrie trusts this right arm. and Jason Oliver has delivered. He's been dominant, and we could say the same about Peach, who started the game for Walsh, as well as Sean Sullivan, who's been excellent in relief as a freshman. Been a well-pitched game. Jolly's going to get a chance to close it out.
Still throwing some smoke. Pitch number 48 hums in there. Simicek to lead things off. It'll be 4, 5, and 6. The heart of the order for Joe Bowers and company. Ground ball second base, and that's through the hole over the glove of Hardenberg. So a leadoff single for Walsh Jesuit, who got a little pep in their step.
That's all you need to get it started, and they're underway here. Ball was hit okay. It looked like a breaking ball in the outer third, and Hardenberg, I think you probably have to make that play standing up or attempt to. But Jason really tried for it too, jumping off the mound to get it. I thought he was going to snag it, but either way, okay. Got to buckle up, got to pitch better. Have to probably expect a bunt here. Have to understand which bunt coverage you want, what the play is. Generally speaking, the play on a bunt is throw the ball to first and thank them for giving you the out. But we'll see. We'll see what Matt wants to do here. We'll see what Jason wants to do, and here strikeouts are even more beneficial.
It's really a benefit, right, if you're St. Mary's and you got Jason Oliver, who fields his position well and is an outstanding athlete.
He's a shortstop. Yep.
Oh, and he can fire it down to second base pretty firmly, too, like he is possibly here. He won't. He'll go to first and get the sure out for out number 1. Well-placed bunt.
Yep, well-placed bunt, and I thought that when it first came off the bat, our depth perception was a little off up here. I thought he might have hit it too hard to where Jason was going to spin and turn to second, but either way, that's what you're supposed to do. Bunt gets down, runner moves over, pick it up, throw it to first. Now it's the game rests on your shoulders.
So Zach Halligan gets the job done with a sacrifice, moving Simicek down to second base. He represents the game's tying run. We're in the bottom of the 9th in a scheduled 7-inning affair as we near the 11 o'clock hour. State of Ohio won't let you play past 11 o'clock or start an inning past 11 o'clock. And
may have a pinch hitter here, something.
Yep, something's happening.
Oh, pinch runner.
Justin Bremner is the scheduled hitter, and it is a pinch runner that will come on, and it's Darren Kistler who will come on and run, and that will lift Halligan to the ballgame.
Have to, in this situation, when you're a base runner, when your coach is making a determination here, it's a guy who has to be able to score in a single. He just has to. A line drive on 2 skips to the center fielder, that guy has to score. So that's the quality of the runner that you put in this situation. You got to be able to trust him to make the right decisions, not get picked off, not get thrown out. But mostly it's a guy who has to be able to score.
All right. Jason Oliver on the mound, trying to get the win for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. He has 2 saves on the year. This is his 4th appearance. Looking for his first win. That one is fouled back. This is the right-handed hitter, Justin Bremner, the left fielder. Man on second, bottom of the 9th. St. Mary's leads 1-0, an unearned run in the top of this inning on an error by the center fielder. But Brustevich, Hunter, and Boisenow hit the ball hard enough to get that run across the plate. Upstairs, 2-1. There's no activity in the St. Mary's bullpen. Well, there is.
Yep.
Pardon me.
Double barrel down there.
Double barrel. I'm looking at the wrong bullpen. That's the Budweiser pen.
I think the lefty is Kafoulis. I could be wrong.
No, you're right. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike called. And that looked to be some heavy cheddar. I don't know if your guns are still out there, but man, oh man. Oliver doesn't look like he's slowing down.
No, this is, you can tell, we talked about him shaping his body and being, it's important to him. He wants to play baseball for money. We're seeing that sort of endurance.
Fly ball hit right field, hit well, but hit right at the right fielder, Brustevich. The runner will tag and advance, but there's 2 outs in the Walsh Jesuit 9th.
It's a great swing by Bremner. Had seen that Oliver was trying to pitch him away with the fastballs, wasn't really coming in, allows him to kind of get those hands extended early, and that ball was hit really well. Just kind of hit it right at Brustevich, who moved back a couple feet and was able to bring it in, but that's a great pitch in a great spot and a great piece of hitting by Bremner there, an all-around good baseball play.
So Serdenik is due up. The third baseman, Matt Petrie, the National Coach of the Year, will come out and have a word with his entire infield unit. And certainly no thoughts of getting Jason Oliver out here, but what's the primary focal point of this discussion?
I'm sure they're touching on we can't have a passed ball here. So, you know.
No pressure, Vince.
No pressure. But it's something that Matt doesn't need to say, but, you know.
A reminder,
it's an
right?
important piece of the puzzle here. So I'm sure they're talking about attacking, how they want to attack the hitter, what's worked for them so far tonight, what's worked for Jason versus what worked for Aiden early in the game. What do you want to do with the runner on third base? Are you paying attention to him at all? No, we're not holding a runner on at third, but the point being, like, is that something we want to look at? So Matt now, I think, getting an explanation on his visits. Either way, he's smiling, having a good time. We are 1 out away from potentially continuing the streak. Big spot here.
Yes, sir. You'll want to stick around after this one. We'll have our G of the game. So here we go. Oliver against Serdenik with a runner at third in the ninth. And that one is fouled off the St. Mary's dugout. You get another look at that. That almost took somebody's arm off.
Heads up, fellas. I think everybody's awake down there already, given the game. But
how about Petrie, though? He popped out of there upset. He was charged. All in fun. 1 strike, 2 outs, 1-0 St. Mary's, trying to keep their 73-game win streak alive. And they're a pitch away from doing it. Swing and a miss.
Jason sticking with what works. That was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. He's been in that 90-93 range throughout. Throwing it right on top of the hands. It's really tough to get on top of that given the low release height that he throws from and the way the pitch moves and the way the action on it works. I would imagine he's going to stick with the same thing here. The only time he's given up barrels has been when he's thrown breaking balls that hung over the plate. I would imagine he sticks with old number 1.
Why not? Cowdery going to take a nice veteran trip out to the mound and settle down Oliver, and I'm sure remind him of all the great things that Matt Petrie talked about. Cowdery with the white equipment against the black uniform. So 0-2 count, runner at third, 2 outs. Ground ball to first, and that is foul by just a smidgen.
That was cued and coming back, and I was worried it was going to hit the bag and pop up over. And
flashes of Billy Buckner.
Flashes of Drew Hill in the state championship game.
That's right. Yeah. That's a more relevant point.
That's another.
Man, oh man.
Man, yeah, it just kind of bounced foul there at the last second. Good job by Hudson to be back on that. Give it as much time as possible to move, and then you can make your determination.
Serdenik trying to stay alive outside, and a bit of a waste pitch, and why not? Jason's father, Jake Oliver, pacing on the concourse about 20 feet to our right. The guy they call Jolly. Trying to finish it here, but Serdenik has other ideas with that tying run 90 feet away.
It's 2 really good teams, 1 through 9, locked in, benches and bullpens included. We're here, and this is an intense game that's been intense from the very first pitch. And I'm sure these guys are running on fumes at this point. It's late. Just fun. This is just fun. This is baseball in its purest form. We're watching 2 of the best teams in the country in the 9th go head-to-head. It's 1-0. There have been 5 hits. So many good things to say about this game. And this
really
at bat.
You bet. The 1-2. Chopper back to Oliver. Throw to first. Got him! St. Mary's wins it. And the streak continues in Ohio. 1-0 win. Oliver comes on to close it out. 4 innings of firm relief, and he finished what Aiden Donovan started, and just enough for the Eaglets to get their 3rd 1-run win of this season and go to 8-0. What a ball game.
And it did not come without some drama. It did not come without some hubbub here. You can tell these teams have been giving it to each other all night. The healthy competition and what was an incredible game. Man, that was fun, wasn't it?
Let's do it again, Zach. We're not done yet. The final analysis from Brian Sikowski. And we will talk to our G of the game, Jason Oliver, coming up right after this. We're the Prep. Thanks for watching. Don't go anywhere.
With your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all. And from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
All right, this is Adam. Take two. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy. Forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Well, this one's over in Canton, Ohio, and it wasn't always easy for the Eaglets, but they get a win, and they get it the hard way. They got it in the ninth. Nobody scored in this game but Orchard Lake, and they did it in the ninth, and they did it against a pitcher that was really humming in Sullivan.
Yep.
And then the guy behind him, Jason Oliver, was just terrific. Every pitcher who took the mound tonight was plus, high major stuff, and St. Mary's had enough to squeeze out a win in the late night here in Canton, Ohio. Chad Bush and Brian Sikowski back with you. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Thanks for hanging with us tonight, Brian. It was a ball game that was pitching dominant. There were opportunities early, more for Walsh Jesuit. St. Mary's had their chances as well, but man, what a well-played baseball game through and through, and a full 9-inning affair tonight in extras.
Yeah, it was amazing. I wanted to just read the pitching lines off.
Please.
For St. Mary's, Aiden Donovan and Jason Oliver combined to throw 9 innings. They allowed 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and had 13 strikeouts. Really good, really efficient night. It only took about 120 pitches between the two of them to accomplish that. On the other side, Ryan Peach, 5 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 9 Ks. Sean Sullivan, who took a very, very tough luck loss, 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned, 0 walks, and 9 strikeouts from the freshman. So a total of 18 strikeouts there, 13 on the other side, 31 total in this game. What a pitching performance by both teams.
Pitching was the story. When we come back, we'll have our G of the game join us in the booth. I think you know who it is. They call him Jolly, and he's putting on a G of the game hat right now. We'll be back to talk to him in a moment. Chad and Brian rolling on from Canton, Ohio. We're back after these.
Years of playing sports took a toll on my feet. The worst was the tear in my Achilles tendon. I went to fix my feet today, and I've been pain-free for 2 years. I'm back to pickleball 5 days a week. Amazing.
I've been fixing foot pain for decades. Don't give up hope. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy. Forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Welcome back to Thurman Munson Stadium. And we're here with our G of the game, and no surprise, it was the guy that took the mound for 4 innings and shut down Walsh Jesuit on the road to keep that streak alive. Jason Oliver, who's had a fabulous offensive season this year, 17 RBIs, 4 home runs already. A lot of folks talking about that, but your value to this team goes far beyond your offense, the defense at shortstop, but the pitching. The closeout tonight was special. Congratulations on your performance and for grinding out a win. How was it tonight? It wasn't always easy, I know. What's it like winning a game like this on the road?
Oh, it feels great. It feels fantastic.
You were facing some fellas that were highly rated like yourself. This was not an easy lineup to pitch to.
It's not.
But you guys had a plan going in. What was the plan of attack against these hitters?
Play St. Mary's baseball. We know how to do that. Pick up the ball, find barrels, steal bags.
When you're not being able to, you have to manufacture runs. Last year, offensively, you guys, a long ball and hitting gappers and extra base hits was in abundance. But this year, you've had to grind out offensively. What's it been like being the senior and having to get this offense kick-started?
We have to work a lot harder for our wins, Got to be leaders on the team. Got to have the older guys, Ryan, McKay, Minnie, call him Minnie, Blake Grimmer, myself. Got to keep the streak alive, Got to keep the energy. So,
energy was a big part tonight. You could hear the bench roaring and the momentum building with each pitch and each strikeout that you had. Games like this that are close, what did you talk to the team about as you came in the 9th inning before you guys scratched out that 1 run for the win?
We got to be rowdy, but we also got to keep our nerves down and keep our composure, because that's when stuff's going to go wrong. We got to keep our head down, focus, and play St. Mary's baseball, and we came up with a win.
74 straight wins. When you think about that, how much pride do you have in winning that many games in a row and you being a part of all of them?
It feels great, but to be honest, I actually forgot that this was the game to keep the streak alive. I actually forgot. I was trying to go out there and just beat them. Win not only for me, but for the guys. I'm so proud of these guys. You have no idea.
Well, you're 1 win away from tying the state of Michigan record, and this was a tie, and if it went another inning, it could have been a tie. The streak could have gone by the wayside, but really special things, when you're making state records. What's ahead for this team? What's next? I know you have this Ohio trip. You get to stay together. kind of cool to travel with your buddies and teammates and classmates?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a lot of fun. We're going to get rowdy at the hotel tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. They're already planning on playing PS4 and all that stuff over there. So
Okay, well, hey, as long as the rowdiness is capped off with PS4, go wild. Get crazy tonight.
Gonna have some fun tonight. They got to be up early, though, for tomorrow. So.
Okay, well, how early do you have to get up? I mean, my God, you have a game tomorrow.
We got to leave by at least 10 tomorrow, so we can't stay up too late tonight.
All right, well, don't stay up too late tonight, but have
We'll
some
be all right.
fun, enjoy it. Listen, we'll catch up with you when you get
Yes,
back.
sir.
Congratulations, our
Thank you
G of
very
the
much.
game, first of many this year for Jason Oliver, the Indiana commit.
Yes, sir.
1-0 win for St. Mary's. We'll come back to wrap it up from Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton, Ohio, right after this.
Years of playing sports took a toll on my feet. The worst was the tear in my Achilles tendon. I went to fix my feet today, and I've been pain-free for 2 years. I'm back to pickleball 5 days a week. Amazing!
I've been fixing foot pain for decades. Don't give up hope. Call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Chad and Brian back with you in beautiful Canton, Ohio. Everybody's gone home. It's dark. It's starting to even get a bit chilly. How dare them? What a great night. We didn't know if baseball would even get played at one point. There were no umpires. It was 50 minutes past first pitch time. And a long trip was made by many for this. And they played. Credit to everyone who pulled it together after the umpires were not here. And thank goodness, because what we saw today was beautiful baseball.
I've already tweeted it. Like, I can't imagine I'm going to see a better high school baseball game this year than that was.
Wow.
I mean, it was sure it wasn't as offensive as maybe you like, but it was unbelievable pitching, really strong defense with one or two exceptions. Unfortunately, one was the difference in the game, but really good pitching. Two teams that know they're good, that play hard, they play similar styles, going back and forth with each other. That's absolutely going to be a yearly rivalry now.
Yeah,
because
it should
of that. Maybe right here even in this facility. But what an amazing game! The passion of it, like the fire of it, the intensity of it. Man, I'm wired.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Well, we'll see you soon.
Yes, you will.
Safe travels, my friend.
Same to
I know you don't have to go far. We do. But it was worth it.
Absolutely.
We're glad you joined us. Thank you very much. It's Brian Sikowski on Color Commentary. Want to thank our fine, hard-working crew that traveled from afar to get here. Pat the Stat doing great work on stats, and he also picked up a gig on PA. How about it? Good job, PB. Fish on audio. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Evan Westfall on instant replay. CJ Easterling on a camera, Alex Mayer on a camera, and Brad the Boss Ross on a camera as well. Thanks to our friends Frank and Jack who are in the booth.
Yep.
My name's Chad Bush saying so long, where Orchard Lake St. Mary's wins it 1-0 tonight and keeps their Michigan State record in sights. They're one game away and could tie the state record tomorrow with a win against Olentangy Orange. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're the Prep. So long.